Hi y'all, good morning. We on a road trip today down to Nickajack Reservoir in Chattanooga, Tennessee. I've caught some big fish here in the past and we're going to try to get on some today. Also got a special guest with me today. Special may be a strong word. I got a guest with me today over here, Daniel with Catfish Sumo. He's over there along the shoreline right now. He's trying to catch some bait. He showed up unprepared, y'all. In his defense, I did give him very short notice that I was coming down here. I messaged him like 6 o'clock last night and said, hey, I think I'm going to come down your way and fish tomorrow if you're available and want to get together. And he was like, sure. And I was like, you know, a little short on bait. You might want to see if you can scrounge something up last night. So I give him short notice. I do got some bait here. We'll hand off to him if he don't get anything. But we're going to get bait up and get after it, y'all. So I've got us some baits to start with here cut up. We've got a white bass head and a white bass chunk. Something was a big splash right there beside us, man. These fish are excited to be on video today, y'all. It's a good sign. I've also got a couple of carp fillets right here. I kept some carp in my session there yesterday, which would have been the last trip for my regular fishing buddies on here. Y'all seen me catch those, and we're cutting them up and using them today. So I'm gonna stick y'all in the chest here while we get baited up, and then we're gonna get after it today. This is some trophy blue cat waters that we're fishing today, and I'm hoping that we're gonna hook into a few of them possibly. I think we're gonna put our carp up front today. And again, these are just carp fillets. I've cut sections of them here. I'm gonna take the hook and just run through and try to run it through that skin and the dang scales there. This stuff, man, one thing about carp is they've got some tough skin and scales, buddy. It's a chore to cut them things up, which is why I don't hardly ever use them. I bet you I kept 2 carp yesterday, and they were both probably, I don't know, 5-pound range, give or take. But I bet you it took me 20 minutes to get them dang things cut up, because they're just that tough, man. They're just, it's hard to cut through the scales and all that. They got a bunch of bones in them, but by gosh, we got through it so we could have us some bait today. Skipjack has been tough for me back home. Daniel has said that he's seen some out here this morning. That's what he's over here trying to catch right now, so hopefully he'll get us some of those. But we got plenty of carp. We got some white bass, so we're gonna make do today out here. About put that hook through my finger. Did you see that, y'all? Trying to run it through that thing, but we got it. Now, if you're new to my channel, you ain't been here in a while, curious about my rigs, I'll show you that right quick before we drop it down. So I've got a 8-ounce egg sinker here up top. This is on a Carolina rig. We've got a swivel, 80-pound monofilament leader down to a 10-aught size circle hook with our chunk of carp on this one. And then a few inches below that, we've got a Catfish Sumo bait stalker fly. My main line here is 40-pound monofilament, by the way. And I'm going to drop this straight down, let it hit bottom. Right now, we're 48 feet deep here where we're at. And our depth is going to drop off pretty dramatically as we go down through here. This will probably be the shallowest water we fish today, unless we just make our way on down river. If things ain't going well, we might fish a little shallower, but we're going to be fishing deep. 48 feet here, about, I'm terrible with distances, quarter mile, half mile down river from here. There is a deep hole that's going to bottom out at about 110 feet deep. So, going to be a pretty significant drop as we make our way along. But we're just going to incrementally make our way down. The wind right now is blowing upriver. The spot lock, here's our white bass head. All 4 of these rigs, we're going to be fishing 4 rods today. All 4 of them are the exact same rig, just going to have different baits. But the wind right now is blowing upriver. I've got the spot lock on here on my motor, and it's facing upriver right now, so I'm assuming we've got some current flow. I didn't check the generation schedule before coming down here. We've had very limited rain lately, and so TVA's just not been generating hardly at all back home, and so I didn't anticipate much flow down here either. But we've apparently got some because of the way the motor's got me positioned right now. So that's a good sign. Anytime you got current flow, means we're gonna have some scent dispersion with our baits. So I'll gladly take some current out here today. But I think what we're gonna do, I'm gonna get our baits set. We'll come off spot lock. We'll slowly make our way down. We may, depending on how fast we're moving down river, I may just incrementally spot lock us. Move down a little bit, spot lock, sit there a few minutes, move down. Or if we can move at a slow speed, we may just stay on the move. This area, you really got to watch yourself through here. If you ain't paying attention and you get up, I'm going to show you here on the map, best I can anyway. So, and it's tough to see right now because of the low light. We're kind of, there's another big splash right there. We're down in the old river channel here. You can see this area of the river. I'm on Tennessee River, this Nickajack Reservoir. This is a very narrow, deep section of the river. So the sides of the ledge here come off real sharp on each side, and the old riverbed, very narrow through here. We're gonna work this old riverbed, and there's tons of snags down through here, man. If you get off course a little bit and get up on one of these ledges, you are instantly snagged. And I've had days, y'all, where you ain't paying attention. Next thing you know, you got all 4 lines hung up. We ain't trying to do none of that today. So I need y'all to pay attention. Holler at me if we getting off course a little bit. But I'm just gonna go ahead and we'll come off spot lock here. Let me grab the remote, and I just want to see what we're doing. Again, the wind's blowing upriver, current's moving this way, so the current's obviously stronger than the wind, or else we would have been facing the other direction. So I don't know how fast we're going to be moving, if at all. We're definitely moving downriver, but it takes, on my graph here, you need to be moving about 0.3 for it to kind of pick up. So apparently we're moving like 0.1, 0.2. I'm okay with that personally, because what that's going to do, with the wind slowing us down as we're drifting downriver, that means we're being slowed down, but our scent is not. So our scent's getting pushed out in front of us, and that's what we want. We want our scent getting to the fish before our baits do, so they can lock onto that, come get our baits if they're super active, and if they're not super active, they at least know we're coming before our baits gets there. So I like that kind of situation. It's much easier to control your speed when the wind is blowing against the current, and it helps with that scent dispersion. So this is really the best case scenario as far as how the wind's blowing. Now, we don't want the wind to blow too much more than it is, or else we're going to be getting some chop on the water, and with us suspending baits, chop is your worst enemy. So hopefully the wind's not going to be any worse than it. I didn't think it was supposed to be blowing at all today, but I had checked the forecast, the wind report back home. I hadn't looked down here, and the way you can maybe see here when I turn this direction, we're down in a canyon here. We're kind of down in a gorge. So when the wind blows, like it blows through this canyon and loops around and stuff. So it can, sometimes I think when you're in a situation like this, the wind maybe seems worse than it is sometimes, if that makes sense. So look at here, we're already getting off course a little bit here. You got to pay attention now. Y'all supposed to be my fishing partners today. You know, this is a team effort, y'all. Team effort today. We ain't trying to get snagged. Daniel needs to get his act together and get over here. He's supposed to be color commentary man today. You better catch us some bait too. I'm counting on him to get us some skipjack, because Lord knows I can't get any at home right now. It's hard times, man. Hard times. I can get white bass everywhere. But I couldn't get a skipjack if my life depended on it right now. I also got something else today that we're trying out here, folks. It may be a total disaster. We'll see. And this is a perfect day to test it, actually. I got I don't even know what the hell you call this thing. It's a thing that goes around my camera. A wind muff, if you will. Normally, when I'm by myself, I'm using a microphone nowadays. So the audio's much better than what you're going to experience today. Now today I'm using just the regular built-in microphone to the camera, but I've got this wind protector around the camera. And I wanted to do this today because if I hook up 2 microphones to a camera, then I can't also use my battery pack. And, you know, with Daniel and I, with us going to be drifting and stuff, well, my fear was, even if I had a microphone on him, we might get so far away from each other that we're going to be having trouble with signal. And so I'm just using the stock microphone in this camera, which gives you more like ambient sound, I guess, surrounding sound. Plus he's a low talker too, so hopefully it'll help pick him up, just in case he has any words of wisdom today, which is highly unlikely. If he gets us a skipjack, I'm gonna say he's the smartest person on the face of the planet today, because I sure as hell can't. I'm seeing them everywhere back home right now, but they just been feeding on them tiny shad fry, and normally I can get a few with some trout magnets, just those tiny plastic, but I haven't been able to lately. They're just not, they're locked in on that tiny size, and I just ain't been able to match it. I ain't been able to, something's off with my presentation. I'm not getting the size right, I'm not getting the speed right, the cadence. It ain't been working for me. I don't know if I mentioned too, also y'all, this video, we're going unedited today. If I can get my words, unedited. That's hard to say first thing in the morning, but this is going to be a short trip. It's going to be like 97 degrees today, so, and it's ain't a cloud in the sky, so when that sun gets over the top of the canyon, buddy, it's pretty much game over for us. So we're going to be out here, I don't know what time we started here, 6:45-ish maybe, so I'm going to be off the water by 10:30, 11 o'clock. That's where I'm going to be at today. So we're going to leave the camera rolling the whole time. Y'all or me and Daniel's fishing buddies out here today, you're going to see everything from when we drop baits down to when we pull out of here today. He may leave a little bit for us. He's got some child care issues today. His wife's got to do something, so he may have to leave and go pick up the kid, whatever. Heck with him, by gosh. Me and you, we'll sit out here and we'll catch his fish if he's got to leave early. I'm ready to catch a fish right now, man. This is kind of one of them places that I honestly get a little bit excited about fishing. You know, I get excited fishing anyway, but some places, I guess just statistically speaking, I've caught big fish on such a high percentage of my trips down here that it's hard not to get a little bit excited. Now, I haven't fished much here this year. I've fished Chickamauga more this year. Chickamauga is one of them places I hadn't really spent much time on throughout my life. I normally drive right past it to get here. My thought's always been, if I'm going to drive an hour to go fish Chickamauga, I might as well drive an hour and a half, hour and 45 minutes to come fish Nickajack. But I've spent more time on Chickamauga this year, and then and I think this is only my 3rd trip down here all year. And in fact, I don't think I fished down here. I don't remember fishing down here last fall, so it's probably like 3rd time down here in a year, truth be told. I probably ain't been down here since last summer. So, excited to be back down here. I did come down, I fished one day pre-fishing before a tournament last month or month before. Hell, everything runs together now. The tournament was in May. So 2 months ago? 2 months ago, I was down here. I pre-fished today. Not this area. On downriver I fished and didn't do particularly good that day. And then I come down and fished the tournament and hit a spot on downriver and had just a incredibly odd day with how everything went wrong. I got hit with storms. I was running from a storm trying to get back to the car. Pulled the kayak up on the boat ramp, stepped out, and the concrete ramp was just covered in algae. And as soon as my foot hit the ramp, I was just flat on my back, and then I slid down. I couldn't get any traction. I slid down into the water. I mean, I was like hands and knees trying to crawl my way up that damn ramp. Could not get any traction. So next thing I know, I'm like neck deep out in the water. And I decided, you know what, I can't get up the damn ramp. Let me just climb back in the kayak. Well, I did that. I pulled the side of my kayak over. I had some live baits with me. Dumped my bucket over, all my live baits out in the water. So then I had to swim to the damn dock. It was a mess. It was a mess. And then I weighed out the storms. I ended up losing about half my tournament day. Just hiding in the car from the storms. And I get back out in the water, and they had kicked up the current flow at the dam. And all this grass, I'd never seen so much grass in all my life, but it started moving down river, all this debris. I could barely fish. I caught, I think 4 fish total in the tournament. I ended up finishing 4th place, 1 spot out of the money. That was the final kick in the balls of that day. Was I was in 3rd place up into the last few minutes, because we got a live leaderboard, so we can kind of track our place in the tournament. And I thought I was going to sneak into that. We was paying 3 places. And I thought I was going to sneak into one of them money spots. And a guy knocked me out. He'd been sandbagging all day. He had been on fish. He'd caught them all day long, but he hadn't posted them to the very end, so he was sandbagged and knocked me out of the money there. And I was like, no, that's just a final kick to the cojones, you know what I mean? So hopefully today's going to go better. I made it down the ramp today without falling and busting my hind end, so we're off to a good start. That's a small victory in itself. If we catch us a big fish today, it'll really turn things around, make the drive worthwhile. I got up this morning about 4:30 to make our way down here. Daniel lives down here, so this is a hop, skip, and a jump from his house. But me, it's a pretty good haul. I gotta make a commitment to it. But today, with it going to be so hot today, and just fishing a few hours this morning, I don't really have to make any arrangements for Daphne the dog. I'll be home in time to let her out. So I figure if we get out of here about 10:30, 11 o'clock, I should be home. Hopefully no later than 12:30 today, so she should be good. Here's where I'm at, y'all. Again, I'm trying to keep us right in the middle there, that old channel there, and it's a little bit tough. It's a little bit tough to do that because it's boy, that's an odd contraption. I think that's a kayak. It's got one pontoon on the side. That's an interesting contraption right there. You see all kinds of stuff down here in Chattanooga, folks. You never know what you're going to see. But yeah, I want to keep us right in the center. The old river channel here is so narrow. I just want to keep us right in the center of it as we go down through here. And if we get on some fish, whenever, and hopefully we're going to at some point down through here, but whenever a rod goes down, we'll spot lock, we'll sit there, and then we'll try to catch any more fish that may be with it, and then keep making our way down. But I just want to slowly make my way down. It wouldn't be a terrible idea, honestly, for us just to spot lock all morning long either in that hole or right above that hole. I've caught that 100-foot hole. I know a lot of people, there's been a lot of people when I fish these places that have been surprised at how deep we're fishing. But I'm going to tell you, man, if there is food down there and there is oxygen down there at those depths, there will be some catfish there. So I've caught fish 110 feet deep, and I wouldn't be surprised if I found some water deeper than that. Like I said, if there's food and oxygen, there'll be fish there at those depths. So it's not a horrible idea to just go down there on that hole and spot lock. But this section right here, right above that hole, if you've got active fish first thing in the morning, like, you know, we're right here at sunrise. The sunrise in this gorge is, you know, technically the sun comes up when it comes up, but because of the way the land is, the sun doesn't, you've got lower light down here longer, I should say. I guess that's what I'm trying to get at. You've got a low light situation for longer down in this gorge than what you do on a normal terrain area. I think that wind's blowing us upstream right now. It's picked up a little bit. Let's just turn and see what we can do. I just want to go lightly into that. I just want to move downriver at a slow speed. But anyway, what I kind of want to do with starting here is maybe get fish that are potentially active. And maybe they've come out of that hole. They're probably going to spend their day, the bulk of their time down in that deep hole, kind of down in the mud. But these peak feeding times right here, or these low light areas, whether it be first thing in the morning or sunset, fish get active. They come out of that hole. They work up through here. They're looking for food, looking for bait. We may get some active fish up through here at these shallower depths right now, up this ledge. So I kind of want to start here and then work our way down. Now, if we make our way down here and we've sat in that hole for a while and we just can't buy a fish or something. Oh crap, look what you have done. Oh, it come free, thankfully. I told you, man, you got to pay attention around here. You're going to... Something had reached up there and snagged us. Thankfully it popped free. There's a lot of stuff there on the bottom. I don't know if you can see there on my graph. Just a lot of rocks and debris. I mean, it's some prime habitat down here for those big catfish. But yeah, we're going to start here, work our way down, hopefully pick off any active fish. Daniel, he's still looking for bait, I reckon. He really don't like being on video. That's the truth of the story. He's going to drag ass getting over here today, just because he don't want to be on video. He used to try to claim that I'd edit his fish out on video, make it look like I caught more. But now that I'm doing these unedited videos, when I catch more and bigger fish than him, he ain't got no excuse, and it tears him up. He can't stand it. So he's going to try to hide on this place today. Try to be on this video as little as possible. I know it. But he caught last year. I'm trying to think when it was. I think it was in the fall, maybe. Late summer, early fall, I think it was. He caught an 80-some-odd pound fish down here, and above this hole. It was in this stretch of the river here, somewhere above this hole. And I've got videos. The last few years, I typically come down a couple, 3 times a year and fish this area, and I've pulled some big fish out. Not 80-pound big, but I've pulled some really big fish on this area too. So good area to fish. It gets a lot of pressure now. Used to never see any catfishermen down here, but now it's, I guess, you know how YouTube is, man. you put a place on video, people recognize where you're at, word gets out, and now it gets pounded all the time. Now it's hit hard. Not a huge deal as long as people take care of the fish and practice catch and release. Especially got to take care of these fish when you hook them down 80, 90, 100 plus feet deep. I mean, you got to take your time bringing them up, let them decompress, or else they won't be able to go back down. So as long as people take care of the fish and release the fish, an area can get pressured and we can all have a good time. Now, when people come down here and they want to take a fish home, which I don't know why you'd want to eat anything down here, but there's still some people that they catch a big fish and they haul it around the back of their truck and show all their friends till it rots. And then too, you get tournaments and whatnot. They'll catch a fish in one place, put it in their live well, and take it to a weigh-in. It gets released somewhere different, and who knows if it ever makes it back to where it was at. That's one of the things that I really like about our kayak catfishing tournaments being a length tournament instead of a weight. With us going by length, we can have an approved measuring board, take our pictures, their date, time, GPS stamp, and our tournament identifier, score the fish on that live leaderboard, and then we let the fish go right where we caught it. So it's not being tossed around in a live well all day long, and it's being released right there. I mean, that fish was, wherever you catch a fish at, it was there for a reason. Like, that was the ideal, that spot that you caught that fish was the ideal conditions for that fish at that particular time. So that's really the best chance of survival that fish has after the stress and trauma of being reeled in, is to let it go right there where it was at. So I think that's one of the things our tournaments really get right. But it is what it is. These boat tournaments are perfectly legal, and to my knowledge, no studies have ever been done on the mortality rate of catfish. So there's a lot of time and money has been spent on bass, because there's a lot of money that goes into bass fishing. So they've done studies on the mortality rates of largemouth and smallmouth, and boy, this time of year, summertime, like, we got 82-degree surface temps down here. There's fish. Oh, nice takedown. Oh boy, here we go, y'all. Here we go. Hit the spotlight. Let's hit the spotlight here. This one was on the white bass head. He's still taking some line, man. We're 50 feet deep here. Okay, folks, here we go. Where are we at on time here? 20-something minutes in. I can't see. I got this dang camera cover. I can't see the timer on there. It's nice to be hooked up. The biggest fear I always have when you travel somewhere, you make a long road trip, is you go there and you don't catch nothing. You just get skunked or something. Boy, this fish is coming back here. Okay, I've caught up with him again now. He felt pretty good there to start. Now he ain't hardly wanting to fight. I feel like he's just kind of swimming up here. I'm just maintaining the pressure on him. I see some big bubbles coming right there. I ain't got to look at him yet though. One of you's holler down there at Daniel. Tell him he's already getting whooped today. He's already getting outfished. He still ain't even caught him a bait yet. And we already got the first one. It's going to be a good one right here. Come on, fish. Let's get a look at you now. I just want to see you. See what you are. I don't know if it's a blue, flathead. Wouldn't hurt my feelings to get it. I've caught some big flatheads down here. It wouldn't hurt my feelings at all to get one today. Still can't get this thing up here and get a look at him. Oh, it's a blue. Big blue. Big blue kitty for fish number 1. Oh, he's dark too. Look at that thing. All right, man. Let me find us a glove here. I can't get y'all to land the daggone thing. I'll have to do it myself. That wind blowing in my face is making my nose run too. It's a big gamble, me using this wind thing. If it don't work out, we may lose some footage of some good fish today. Sometimes you got to gamble in life, folks. I'm a gambler, a little bit. I don't gamble a lot, but by gosh, I go to Vegas, I hit that craps table. Okay. Nice fish, buddy. Nice fish right here. Let's see where he's hooked at. He's hooked in the side of the mouth there. I think he's probably hooked okay. Yeah, it's a good one. Let's see if we can. Here's what I need to do. Before we land him, let me set y'all up there. Y'all, that camera right there at my dang chest, y'all get in the way sometimes. No offense. Okay. There we go. Nice, y'all. Fish number 1. A few minutes into the trip. Don't know where the hell Daniel's got off to. Ate the white bass head. Look how dark this thing is though, man. Look at that. That is a dark fish, man. I wonder if it's not been up real shallow and just getting a tan from the spawn. You know, all these fish down here, I would suspect most of them are probably off the nest now. This one's not beat up or anything, but just incredibly dark. I mean, all the way down to the belly. Nice start to the day though, y'all. Nice start. We'll see you, buddy. Get on out here. There he goes. Yes, y'all. No skunk, buddy. No skunk. We've made a long drive this morning and we're getting paid off, man. Okay. I think we'll take a look at this head. It should still be good no longer than it's been down there. Normally when fishing hot water like this, I like to switch out baits a little bit more frequently because they're going to get washed out more. And white bass, not the most, you know, it's not a real bloody bait. It's not a real oily bait. So I think it don't last as long as something like maybe say a skipjack. It's got a lot of blood and oil in it. But that's when I got bait. And today I've got very few white bass. And we've got that carp. Now if we can catch fish on carp, we're gonna be in good shape. But we'll see if they got a fancy for it today. I've caught a lot of fish on carp when I get them that are small. I just don't use carp fillets much because, again, I hate cutting them up. It's such a pain. You damn near need a chainsaw to cut them things. So we're gonna have to. That mouth of that bait's tore up all the heck right there. We'll rehook it through there. We're gonna send it back down again. I mean, it looks still got some of the innards there hanging out in. We'll send it down. We'll get on the move again after that. There ain't nothing else hit while we've been sitting here. We're sitting right now. I can tell the wind's picked up because we're sitting sideways now with the spot lock. All right, y'all. Hey, Fish number one, buddy. We're in the game. We're ahead of Daniel now. I see him coming there now. Hell, we done let the fish go, and here he comes. He done missed all the excitement. He'll swear up and down we didn't catch it. You know, the wind's picked up. You see this chop right here? We don't like that. We want it to slow us down a little bit, but not be. I mean, this right here ain't gonna affect our bite. But if it was to get worse and we were really bouncing, that makes it real hard to suspend baits. And honestly, down here, I'm sure somebody will chime in the comments and say they drag this area. Buddy, you're a better person than me. I mean, my dragging setups are pretty snag resistant, but you're begging for it down through here, man. There's so much debris and stuff. Like, it's hard to drag. So you pretty much either got to suspend or you got to just fish bottom, you know, cast out, spot lock or anchor and cast out. Really spot lock. I wouldn't want to anchor down, especially you get down that hole there 100 foot deep. I mean, you got to have a lot of anchor rope out. And then if you get a barge that comes up through here, and we may see some barges today, you got to move, because there's no way. It's too narrow through here for a barge to go around you, and they got the right of way, of course. So if you had an anchor rope out, you'd be pulling up a lot of rope, your lines, and a lot of rope to try to get out of the way. Spot lock's just safer. Reel up your lines and come off spot lock and get out of the way. But, you know, again, that's an option for us. If it gets too choppy, then we'll spot lock, cast our baits out, let them sit on bottom, and then just make our way down incrementally like that. Right now we're good. This small amount of chop we got, not a big deal. I'm more concerned about potential wind noise with this device I'm using here than I am about this affecting our bite at all. But we're on the board. We're on the board, man. Not a total loss coming down here thus far. The last time Daniel and I fished together, it was earlier in the week. We fished together. He come up my way, and we didn't do any good at all. I think we had 5 or 6 fish there between us, and thankfully I've been ahead on videos a little bit, because I got behind there between struggling to get bait and having some catfish trips that really just wasn't no quality and minimal quantity. Tough to justify posting. You know, you feel like it's getting a little behind there or something, but hopefully today we're gonna be rewarded for our drive down here. I hope we catch some flatheads though, man. I've been wanting to get me some flathead. I caught, I'm trying to think, I'm thinking like one flathead over the last month or two. I mean, my flathead catch has been way down this year. I've not been on them. Look right here. Eye in the sky, buddy. There's one moving in there on our baits. He just went up. He come in right there on it. There's another one right there too, kind of moving in and out. I don't think that's very big, but it's interesting to see nonetheless. I got that thing set at about, I guess we might help our cause if I had it about 50 feet out in front of us. Let's go about 30. There we go. We'll set that thing 30 foot. Now we can see them baits a little better. There's one of our rear baits, and up here is our front baits, that live scope. So now maybe we can see something Right there, like there, right there, for instance, the fish going by. That'll give us a little bit more clarity on it. I am going to keep my map card up today, though, just so I can make sure that we're kind of in the old riverbed. Because, like I said, you get up a few feet on that ledge and it comes up so quick, you're in trouble. You're just going to be snagged all to you know what. Oh, the man, the legend. Tell me you got a cooler full. Just out enjoying the day, just a kayak trip. Yep. So in other words, you ain't caught not one single skipjack. You know, I don't know how you call yourself a catfisherman if you can't catch bait.
I was thinking I probably need to refine my bait catching skills.
Yeah, you might need to get a skill.
God's a skipjack, no problem, but anybody can do that.
Yeah.
They're scarce, like right now. I have a harder time.
Yeah, well, imagine that.
Yep.
I'm gonna need you to do better.
What?
I'm gonna need you to do better.
How many fish have you caught?
One. It's pretty good. Blue. It's dark. Yeah, real dark.
I was gonna say that your no bait's doing, or my no bait's not doing any worse than your.
Well, you can't because, yeah, nice try.
Decided I'm just gonna come bounce some stinger flies around.
Well, I got some bait here you can have.
I mean, bait's scarce. I'm not gonna take your bait.
No. I got enough for us. I was just hoping you'd get some skipjack because, you know, it's kind of the.
Are you trolling?
I'm moving, yeah.
Drifting way past me.
Like half a mile an hour.
Your motor's on?
Well, I just turned it off now because I'm about to hook you up with some bait, but no, the wind is going upstream, the current's going this way, and the current is kind of offsetting the wind a little bit, but not much. It's all cattywampus here. I'm using the motor.
Caught a couple more crappie.
Oh yeah?
But small.
On the spoon?
Too small. No, so I kept getting bumped on the spoon and too small whenever to hook up, so I put a trout magnet on.
Oh.
Caught more crappie. Too small to use for bait.
Amateur, Daniel. I need you to do better.
Let me take a tail from you.
Well, let me get around here, y'all. Let me see what we can find here. I don't know how many I got down in here, actually, because they've been in here a couple days. I'm going to give you some of this carp, too.
Don't give me any real bait. Just
I ain't got no real bait today. I ain't got no.
tails. Sit here and
Here, start with a couple of these and some carp. Yeah, don't run over my line, but also,
I bow up to you and I can get my ear. Actually, just.
how about just,
I'll come over to you. Oh, jeez.
don't get my line. No, bumper, oh, God almighty, Daniel.
All right.
Here, grab some of this carp, too.
That's good. That's plenty.
Well, try the carp anyway, damn it. That'll get you started. Yeah, that'll get you started. I think we got enough for both of us to get through today. Well, I know if we get on some fish, we may go through it, but that'd be best case scenario. I was just hoping you'd get some skipjack just so we could just have something better.
I found that school right as I was coming up to you earlier and got bumped on one and it flipped off. I was like, okay, whatever, I'll go back and run over that school a couple more times. Can't find it.
Well, you think you got that fancy live scope, you wouldn't have trouble finding a fish.
You would think that. You would think that.
I mean, they say you just turn that thing on and catch fish.
Yeah, fish just.
That's what I've always been told. We must be the world's worst live scope fishermen.
Users.
I'm gonna lower my baits down a little bit and I'm gonna get back on the move here. I had half of mine to go down to that deep hole first thing, but after your 80-something pounder, I thought, well, maybe we'll work this ledge down. At least I got one so far.
That's good. Is that a blue?
Blue, yeah. That thing got hit when I dropped it. Oh, and he come free. Something hit it on the way down. I felt him. He nailed it on the way down. He didn't hook up though. Boy, that was something. That would have been awesome if he had stayed hooked up. All right, got everything lowered down here, dropped off to 52 feet. Going to continue to drop off pretty quick down through here. You ever gonna catch a fish today, Daniel? My God. I mean, hell, I done been out here an hour now. You ain't even got lines in the water yet.
What I do, you just delete the video anyways.
Well, no, we're unedited today, buddy. I done told them about how you always try to say I edit your fish out.
Yeah.
Oh, look right here. Look right here, Daniel. I'm gonna catch one right in front of you, by God.
And then we spend 4 hours with me whooping your tail, and that video
It never sees the light of day, does it? I may not edit these videos, but by gosh, you outfished me and we just won't post it. I'm about to be up 2-0 on you right here. This one ain't gonna be very big, I don't think, but it still counts. And technically, since I give you the bait, any fish you catch is my fish anyway.
Yeah, that's fine.
Oh, we got a little flathead. We're just talking about catching a flathead. I wanted to catch them bigger than this, but I'll take it.
The most flatheads I've ever caught have been in the top half of this stretch.
And how many is that on a day?
I don't know, I feel like my morning starts off with
Look at that right there, folks.
a couple flatheads up here, and then I move down and get loose down there.
Little baby flathead. Get on out of there, Flatty. Thanks for leaving the bait on. Take a look at this.
He's gonna go back and tell his bigger friends that I'm here now.
Good. They'll confuse my bait with yours since it's the same. Bait's still on there. Carp's a tough bait. I can tell you, I can vouch firsthand that it's tough to cut through that mess. Boy, it's tough to cut, man. I need to get me one of them electric fillet knives, so I need to do. That'd probably help. I wonder if that flathead was what hit my bait a minute ago when I dropped down. I wonder if that wasn't the same thing. Because it didn't feel like a big fish that hit me, but something had definitely hit me on that other rod. Yeah, I had a day downriver from here last year or year before where I caught a bunch of flathead. I think I got 5 or 6 flatheads down there on the air. And we're not going down that far today, but there are some flatheads. I mean, you got that much debris and stuff down there on bottom, man. You're going to have some flatheads. I mean, it's prime location for them. You still ain't got a bait in the water?
Man, this water's hot.
It's 82 degrees.
It's 85.
Oh, well, maybe yours is wrong. I know Garmin wouldn't lie to me.
I just got bumped.
Did you?
As it hit.
Something hit me a minute ago when it dropped down too. I think I'm gonna get back on the move, Daniel.
Alright.
Feel free to catch up if you ever get baited up. You know, want to actually do some fishing today. Next time you need to be prepared, because I could call at any moment. So always have some bait on hand. Just be ready. Yeah. Amateur over there, gotta do better. If I call at 6 p.m. saying fishing tomorrow, you gotta be ready to go. Yeah, it's kind of a last minute decision to come down here. I knew I was going to fish today, catfish, but I didn't really know where I wanted to go. I was there yesterday evening, and girlfriend had come over last night, so I knew I was going to have tonight free. Like if I, get up early and get home. Sometimes a man needs a nap and get up in these early morning hours. And when I say sometimes, I mean about every damn day I have a nap. Most days anymore. But, I knew I'd have tonight my schedule cleared. So if I was tired from getting up early and making a long drive this morning, I could rest this evening. And I said, you know what, I'm gonna go down Chattanooga. Hell, I ain't been down here forever, and I ain't been down here but twice all year, so today's the day, by gosh. Take our old... I carp fished yesterday. I'd got them white bass the day before, and so they're 2 days old. Carp's right at about 24 hours old now at this point. So yesterday was, regular viewers have probably seen that video by now. It would have been the one before this. Man, carp yesterday was tough too. I think I landed 3 or 4 carp. I know the two... Oh, hang on. Look right here. We got hit. Something bumped us right there. But I got them 2 carp that I kept, and another one that was an odd color. It seems like I got one more. Maybe I lost another one. And then I got some smaller catfish, and had some turtle action, of course. But man, it was a tough day. Compared to what I've been doing with the carp anyway. I mean, I've been having some days of quality and quantity on the carp, and it was a tough time yesterday. So I feel like between the difficulty in catching bait, the difficulty I've had with the cats back home lately, the difficulty in carp yesterday, I feel like, man, we're due, y'all. I'm just optimistic today. Normally I'm a very pessimistic person, but today I'm feeling optimistic. Tell you what though, when that sun gets up over the canyon wall over there, boy, it's gonna get hot fast, man. It is miserable today. The humidity don't seem as bad this morning, which is a big help. When it's 95 plus degrees and damn near 100% humidity, buddy, it's miserable. But I think today is going to be just more hot than humid. You still ain't got a fish yet? You ain't even got baited up yet. What the hell are you doing with your time over there? You need to get more practice at this. You ain't fishing enough. Well, enjoy it while you can. It's about to get hot. No. You're just so used to the heat. Feels that way. I think right now, folks, with the wind having slacked off a minute, I think we're just slowly moving down. It's tough to say. We're not making much progress, if any. That's okay though. Again, I just really want our scent in front of us. That's going to be that's a huge help to have your scent in front of you. You know, a lot of the guys that bump for catfish, which is, they're in boats. Well, some of the kayak guys will do it too. But you get up there either in the swifter water by the dams or in rivers that have faster flow. And they'll use their electric motor and kind of cut their speed, their drifting speed, in half. And they'll let their bait hit bottom and kind of walk it down. So the current is going twice as fast as their bait. And so that scent gets out, the fish lock in, and then here comes their bait just slowly working down. And that's a very effective technique. A lot of guys do really well with that. And it's kind of the same concept what we're doing today. I mean, obviously the technique is different. We're not bumping, we're not bouncing that thing down the river. But it's kind of similar in the fact that our scent is getting down there before our bait reaches the fish. Now, when was it? I think it was 2 years ago now, I believe. Elias V Fishing, their YouTube channel, he come down here. I'm gonna slide us over. That wind's pushing us. I want to get us back here. Okay, there we go. 52 foot depth. He come down here and fished a few days, and he's real big on artificials and vertical jigging. He does a lot of that saltwater fishing using them jigs, and he did really well bouncing them jigs. And he got some catfish. He also caught a bunch of drum too, big drum. But he done that on artificials and just working it down. And I imagine with all that debris and stuff down there and them crevices, you bounce that jig down there. I kind of played around with that back in 2017. It's hard to believe it's been that long, but and I've got video on my channel where I took a large jig head with a big hook and put cut bait on it. And I was working rock ledge and bouncing that thing down. And what the goal with doing it was to try to get that jig down in them little nooks and crannies there, them crevices. That flatheads was what I was specifically targeting, that they might be hiding in down there. And my thought was, if you can put that thing right in front of their face or maybe hit them in the head with it, you get a reaction strike. And I did well with that technique. I caught some fish. Now I didn't catch anything huge with it, but I got some action on it. And it's just one of them things I played around with a little bit and just never really put much time into it. I'm lazy, and that, I'll tell you, when you're doing this all day, that vertical jigging, boy, if you ain't getting bit, now Elias can do it all daggone day, man. He loves doing that. That's his thing. Me, if I do about 20 minutes and I ain't got a bite, I'm over it. You know, I mean, it's one of them things I got to be getting some action to keep my attention going. Now, this style of fishing, I can go a long time without getting bite, but I'm not doing anything. You know, I can kind of be lazy. I like being lazy. I like just kicking back, relaxing, waiting on the fish to bite. But yeah, this is a prime area. If you're somebody that's, you got something? Well, I'll be doggone right here. He's trying to show us up. It better be a good one, or else they ain't gonna be able to see it this far away. You probably brought that fish from home, hooked him on there when I wasn't looking.
That's what I was doing on mornings, catching fish over there.
That's what I thought. It better at least be a flathead. Yeah. It ain't.
Yeah.
Well, what do you eat, a carp or white bass?
White bass body section.
Okay. He said white bass body section, in case y'all can't hear. He's a low talker, folks. I make fun of him all the damn time. Every time I get off the phone with him, I feel like I need a hearing test. I feel like I'm going deaf. He's one of them people like the Seinfeld episode, the low talker. Remember when Jerry got talked into wearing the puffy shirt on the Tonight Show because he couldn't hear Kramer's girlfriend because she was a low talker? Same thing with Daniel, just very low talker. I bet his wife wins every single argument because he can't raise his voice. We'll just keep the camera on him while he takes 2.5 hours to get a fish unhooked. You need me to come unhook that thing for you? There comes the sun. Oh, look at him. I mean, that's an awful small fish to be whooping you like that. Well, oh gosh. Yeah, it's about to get bright out here, folks. I'm gonna bust out the shades. Recommend y'all do the same. Get your sunscreen on. I was hoping we would be hooked into a big fish, a really big fish, before that sun got over the top there, but maybe they wanted to see what they was eating today. The hell far, Danny? You caught a fish and you running away from them now? We need to get more over this way too, because we're gonna be coming up on that ledge if we don't. The wind, I think it's kind of pushing us kind of this way a little bit as it circles around. I'll show you here on the map. You can see like we're fixing to kind of start to drop off at a faster pace here. We'll lower our baits down a little more here in a couple minutes probably. Want to keep them baits, 3 foot or so off bottom. Normally I like a couple feet, 3 feet at the most. But down here we're going to go a little bit. We're going to err toward a little bit higher up just because of the snag factor. I would rather have the baits a little bit higher and potentially risk not getting bit than have them down there right on bottom and then end up with 4 rods snagged or something. That ruins a day quick when you get everything snagged up. I've been there and done that too many times. So lower some stuff down here. Let's get them all lowered here if we can. If y'all's a fishing partner worth a damn, you'd be lowering them other rods while I'm getting these, but I can't get no work out of you. I catch all the fish, y'all take all the credit. It's just like having a real job or something. You do all the work and your boss takes all the credit. Okay. Slide on over. Keep getting pushed up on that ledge. Y'all staring right into that sun right now. Is there a huge glare? I can't tell. I can't hardly see the camera for this wind thing. This wind thing better work out because it's a huge annoyance. Just when I wear a regular microphone, my external mic, it does great picking up my voice. Sounds real crisp and everything. But it eliminates a lot of the surrounding noise. And you take a day like today where we got a special guest with us here. It'd be nice for y'all to hear him without me having to put a microphone on him. Because again, we may be set like when he was catching bait. We got a long distance between us. I don't know if that mic's going to pick up at all. And then if we're running 2 mics, I can't use the battery pack. And so then we're changing up batteries. And so anyway, we're going to hope this thing works out. If it don't work out, I'm only out a few dollars. Cheap accessory. Curious to see how it does. I'm going to kick back and relax over here a little bit as we make our way along. Maybe if we get down here, a little higher part of that ledge, we can get back in the shade a little bit. I want to catch a fish in a bad way today, man. I want a big one today. I sure wish you'd hurry up and catch a fish, Daniel, a real one. Yeah, we're dropping off quick now, 63 feet. We're going to have to lower everything down some more. One of these things here, man, you suspending baits like this, you do spend a lot of time raising and lowering your baits when you're fishing areas that are not consistent in depth. Now, I would recommend, if you're new to this, if you're new to catfishing, specifically if you're new to suspend fishing, you need to start slow. You need to, obviously, you know, I'm fishing 4 rods today. I don't recommend starting with 4 rods to start with. Start with maybe 1 or 2 rods. And try to pick areas that are consistent in depth to start with. Then over time, as you get more comfortable and you get used to controlling your kayak, reeling in, landing fish while managing your other lines and stuff, as you get more comfortable with that and get more experience, well then, if your kayak has enough space, then maybe you add a 3rd line, 4th line. You know, maybe you take on some ledges like this where you've got some undulating features and a lot of snags and stuff. You know, ease your way into it. What the worst thing you can do, and you're new, and this is true not just with suspend fishing, but I mean, hell, this is new. I mean, this is true with just anything in life in general, really. Well, the worst thing you can do when you're new at something is to just jump out of the skillet and into the fire. Try to go right to expert level at something. You're probably going to fail. And you're going to have a bad experience, and that's going to most of the time negatively impact you wanting to do that in the future. You know, the best thing you can do when you're trying to learn something is to get a victory, you know, get a win. And so try to put yourself in a position to succeed. And again, this is, I'm talking about suspend fishing now, but I mean, hell, this is true in life. You want to build your confidence, no matter what it is that you're starting out in, you're new and you're wanting to learn. You want to get some confidence, get a win, get a, you know, some good momentum going, and then, you know, ease your way into something. If you put yourself in a position to fail, most of the time, you know, you're going to fail. Nobody wants to lose. Nobody wants to fail. So I just recommend starting with 2 rod, and you'll catch plenty of fish. How many videos I got me fishing in my pedal kayak with a basic graph and 2 rod holders. Like, I mean, I've caught a bunch of fish doing that. You can have a lot of success fishing a very simple setup. Fishing 1 or 2 rods, but as time goes on, you may want to do more. The older I get, the more I kind of, you know, want to get back to a more simpler form of fishing. It's just, I think that's how, just being a human, it's our nature. We complicate the hell out of things. We start simple, we learn, we start trying to push the limits. Next thing you know, hell, you got guys now running 10 rods and kayaks. I mean, you see it all the time in the tournaments. Let's lower our depth on that thing. But me, I just kind of, and you know, hell, I've won tournaments with just dragging 2 baits against guys pulling 8 and 10 rods, doing the same thing. I mean, if you spend your time learning how fish are going to move and where they're going to be, you could have a lot of success without having to put out 37 rods and a gazillion different baits. You can keep things very simple and have success. What's that? There's some kind of, what's the thing? What's it called? I forget what it's called. But the concept is the simplest answer is usually correct. And it's definitely true with fishing. The simplest thing you can do is probably going to get you the most success most of the time. There's some nuances to things, some details that might give you an edge on a given day. And over time, you'll learn to spot those. But just day in, day out, just going out, fun fishing, trying to get a bite, trying to have fun. The simplest thing you can do is probably what you want to do. Daniel, I sure wish you'd catch fish. I mean, I'm ready to catch another one, but I want you to catch up before I do it. I know I'm doing you a solid here, but you're really holding up the show. So if you could go ahead and get on with it, that'd be great. It's all about Daniel today. Hey, Daniel, I know what I was going to ask you. Because you've got brothers, right? You've got several brothers. When you all talk to each other, do you call each other by your names or do you say brother? Like, hey, brother.
I want to get their attention, like typing or talking?
I mean, just general conversation. Like, how do you address each other?
By name.
By name. You know what's become a huge pet peeve of mine? And I don't know why, but it's like nails on a chalkboard. It's similar to the name Toby. You know, I hate everybody that's got the name Toby. I've never met a Toby in my life that I liked. And I never will because I hate the name so bad. But similarly, how the name Toby makes me feel, I hate when people call me brother. Do you have that? Do you have people do that to you? They're like, hey, brother. Like, I ain't your damn brother. We come out of a different mama. Like, I ain't your brother.
I think it's a term of friendly, like...
They mean well by it. But I find it very annoying. It's a pet peeve. I think it started in the 80s with Hulk Hogan. Because, you know, he'd be like, hey, brother, drink your milk and take your vitamins. Say your prayers. I think that's where it come from. But I've noticed, I had a guy comment last night. I was going through some YouTube comments, like, hey, brother, and asked me a question. And I specifically didn't answer the question because he had said, hey, brother.
What if it was bro?
No, that's even worse.
Is that different?
No, because that, when they say, hey, bro, that tells me they're young. And, you know, I don't like young people either.
They said, hey, dude.
Hey dude is definitely better than hey bro or hey brother. But something about calling me brother, it triggers something in my mind. I don't like it. I was just curious. I knew you had, you know, me being an only child, I've never had to call anybody brother or sister. But I've wondered, people who actually have siblings, how do you address each other?
By name.
By name.
I mean, if it was like a group chat or
So addressing everyone, you would say.
Casual way, yeah. Although I don't know that I ever have or would say like, hey brothers, tonight we're meeting at the blah blah blah. It would be bros or dudes or something meaning people, not our relationship.
I don't know how it got started with the brother thing. I had to think it was Hulk Hogan, but I don't like it.
I mean, when I think of somebody saying that, I think of like military guys.
Yeah, there is a lot of military, which I guess in that situation they're kind of family.
And brother, like that's a more common term.
Don't be looking around. You ain't getting a bite.
I got bumped somewhere.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, I did.
No, you didn't. You're imagining things. I'm looking right at you. None of your rods got hit. You're just trying to be dramatic on video. You ain't catching nothing today.
All right, here's one. Tell me a story about tell me how you would say that like your mom went to the grocery store yesterday. If you were talking to somebody.
I'd say my mom went to the grocery store yesterday.
It's odd to me that when people refer to, it happened, I think I see it a lot, or most frequently when they're talking about their parents. And they refer to their parents as if their name is mom or dad, rather than, like usually you refer
That
to
is their name.
Well, to you. Usually you refer to somebody like in relation to the person you're talking to, like, hey, yesterday my brother and I, like if you didn't know my brother's name was Chris, I'd be like, yesterday my brother and I went somewhere. I wouldn't say Chris unless you knew who Chris was, right?
Right.
So when people are like, yeah, so last night mom and I went to the grocery store, that seems bizarre to me. Like, I don't call her mom, it's your mom. My mom and I went to the grocery store.
But your example with your brother Chris, if I didn't know Chris, you would say your brother.
Yeah.
But when you say my mom and I went to the grocery store, it's understood that she's your mom.
Yeah, but Chris would be a name that you would call her too. Or sorry, you would call him too. If my brother was here and you knew who Chris was, you'd be like, hey Chris. If my mom was here, you wouldn't say, hey mom.
I might. You don't know. I may call her all kinds of things, Daniel. Well, maybe that's probably cultural difference because you're a Yankee.
I didn't hear that until I came to the South.
Yeah, maybe that's a Southern thing. We like our mamas down here. A lot of them Yankees and stuff, I guess they don't get along with their moms.
I think I got a fish somewhere. Keep going.
You ain't got no fish, Daniel. You probably snagged. I've been looking right at you and your rods ain't been hit. All these people, I got 11 people still watching. They ain't seen your rods get hit neither.
I think I got something small sitting somewhere.
I think I made the wrong day to come down here with unacceptable bait. I just knew you was gonna get us some skipjack. You normally come up clutch. Today you failed me.
I feel like we had a good run there where bait was easy to find. You never had to fish. You know, all you had to do was show up to the ramp. I feel like the last couple times.
Yeah.
It's me showing up to the ramp and you're giving me bait.
I know, and it's better when it's the other way around. When I show up and you give me bait, I like that much better.
I don't know. I was settling into how good that is.
Well, I can relate because I was settled into it. I got to find some new friends, I reckon. At least the wind slacked off a little bit. We're able to actually kind of drift now.
Still keeps pushing me back on this bank over here.
Yeah, it's definitely moving us this way as it's coming up, but at least it's slacked off. It ain't real choppy right now. I was worried if it kept picking up, it was going to get too bumpy to suspend. I come down here with a plan, and I wanted to stick with that plan. I wanted to be adapting. I feel like just me getting down the ramp without falling and busting my ass is a victory in itself.
Being able to adapt is what separates the men from the boys.
Well,
I came down with the plan of catching some skipjack and fishing with them, and I had to adapt to using secondhand bait.
Secondhand bait, yep. I gave you the tainted stuff too. I didn't give you the good stuff.
Just think of how big good stuff.
I know. Me too. I've seen a few on the graph, you know, as we've went by, but limited action thus far. My expectations are always so high coming down here. It's almost a disservice to myself. But we've had so many good trips down here, it's hard not to have high expectations. Well, I hate that you gotta leave so damn early, Dave. We ain't gonna be able to eat that burger place.
If you get off the water now, they probably open it. Well, they probably don't even open till 10.
Yeah, you probably gotta leave before they even open. So you've got your parking situation completely resolved.
Yeah.
I got my second notice from them in the mail
I also
the other
got a
day.
second notice, but I also have an email saying that they're, out of the kindness of their heart, forgiving it.
Kindness of their heart. Y'all, I told this story on one of these videos. I'm gonna tell it again since I'm down here with Daniel and he's the culprit. What was the name of that place we ate at?
Urban Stack.
Urban Stack down here in Chattanooga. It's some hipster burger place Daniel wanted to eat at one day when I was down here. You gotta pay to park over at this place. And
If you park in that lot, there is street side parking, but you had a trailer.
well, I had a trailer. There ain't no street side parking when you got a trailer. So anyway, parking that lot, me and Daniel both parking there. We go in, eat, we come out, we chit chat, we leave the parking lot.
You forgot a part. We paid for parking.
Well, yes, we paid for parking. We paid to park in the lot. And you tell them how much time you're going to pay for when you go in, and then, which, you know, which is technically most people, if you pay for an hour and you leave at 57 minutes, there should be a credit that rolls over. It don't. But anyway.
You want 13 cents credit back?
I do, by God. I want every penny back. But anyway, we left out of there a little later than what our time had allowed. And come to find out, they're filming us going in and out of this thing. So a couple of weeks go by, I get a ticket in the mail. And I'm struggling. What would it cost? $4 or $6 to park for an hour?
I paid for 7. Maybe I paid for 2. Did I pay for 1 extra hour, 1 extra 30-minute block or something? I originally paid for 7.
It seems like mine was like $4 or $6, whatever it was. But anyway, we ran over on time. And next thing I know, I got an $85 bill. Penalty and all. And I could understand, like, if they want to charge me for an extra hour, hit me with a $10 penalty, a $15, I'd have paid it. Yeah, I'd send them $20. I ain't sending them 85.
85, and if you pay online or by phone, it's 90.
Yeah, because you got to pay the surcharge there, the fee. Yeah. So I said, you know what, they can kiss my ass. I'm not paying it. I refuse to pay it. You know, they threaten you on the thing there. If you don't, they're going to potentially turn you over to collections. Turn me over. I don't care. I don't buy anything on credit. My house is paid for. My vehicle's paid for. I'll never use credit again. My credit card already has a 20-something% interest rate because, you know, I've got a high interest credit card. I get points. I just pay it off every month. I never carry a balance. So I don't give a damn about my credit score. They will not tempt me into paying a ridiculous fine based on threatening a credit score. And if they want to pay a lawyer $600 an hour to take me to court over an $85 fee, that I can't imagine is constitutional. Like, how is that legal? How do you go from $6 an hour parking, running over a few minutes, and then go to $85? Like, how is that legal? It's excessive. It's a bit excessive.
So I like the 85 is what tripped me too, because I was thinking like all it said was overage, time in, time out, but it didn't show, you know, like ledger, like time in, time out. You should have paid this. You actually paid this. Here's what you owe, plus all of our ridiculous fees, whatever. New balance.
Yeah.
So I was thinking like, is their system broken? Did it not even match up what we paid? Because you're not even showing on this thing that I paid.
Yeah, it didn't even, yeah, like you said, it didn't break it down like where we had paid it all,
Yeah.
even though we had paid. Yeah, so
I'm also interested, if I paid 7 and you paid 4, that means I paid some extra minutes more than you. just got an $85 bill.
Yeah.
Which means, like, whatever amount you stayed, like, it's still $85. There's no, you stayed this much over, and so this is the penalty. Oh, he stayed over longer, so this is his fee.
They just go right to level 10.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a problem with it. Well, I'll never eat at Urban Stack again. They've lost my business. The fact I got to park at that place. I had guacamole on the hamburger. It was good. Well, they need their own lot then, damn it. That's the problem with these hipster places downtown like that, is you gotta go through a hassle to park. And when you got a trailer, you're pretty much forced to park in a lot like that.
I think that's not necessarily a hipster place. It's anywhere you shop or go to.
Well, nobody shops downtown, Daniel. Nobody shops downtown. There's too many homeless down there. And you know, it's a wonder they didn't want to try to stick it to me for the trailer, charge me for 2 spots. Now, I wasn't in 2 spots. I'd parked in such a way like it was, the trailer wasn't taking up a spot, but yeah, I'm still pissed about it. I got my second notice in the mail. I almost hope they do try to sue me or take me to court or something. I'd just like to go through the experience of it.
It would be interesting to hear a judge. So 2 things I would, if they actually were going to do that. First, I would want like a picture of the sign or something. Like, show me where it said I was going to, and maybe it's there. I mean, it's a contract breach, I guess, would be the thing. Like, the sign said you had to pay, you didn't pay, so here's the penalty. Like, show me that's what I should have known that up front.
Yes.
They were going to charge me $85 if I did.
That should have been front and center when you're paying your thing, because we had our app or the phone QR code, whatever. Like, it should have said.
Or a sign in the lot or something. So that would be thing number 1. Thing number 2 is it would be interesting to hear a judge ingest what you just said. Yeah, $4 for 2 hours or whatever, and $85 for the next 7 minutes or whatever I stayed over.
Yeah.
Just hear their opinion. Allow some questions to the parking company.
Yeah. Because here's the thing, like, we're not the only people getting hit with that. And I guarantee you, I ain't the only one that's put my foot down and will refuse to pay it. And again, I'm not opposed to, you know, I'll fully admit, like, I was in the wrong. Lunch took longer than what we had paid for. I'd be willing to pay the extra time and a small penalty. My beef with it is the excessiveness of the punishment don't fit the crime. And here's the other thing, it ain't like it was there, we were there on a busy day. Like, there was a million spots open. It's not like we're costing them business. Yeah. I don't think they ain't gonna do nothing. I mean, it would be stupid of them to pay a lawyer $300, $500 an hour or whatever, plus all them fees, unless they thought they could get the legal fees recuperated, which I can't imagine there's anything that would have been in the contract or the thing they sent me if they had an opportunity to get those back. So it would be stupid business-wise for them to do that.
I would guess you get a bunch more escalating letters, and then maybe at some point they roll up like blocks of those and sell them to a debt collection company.
That's my guess too.
And you get put in a robo-dialer for the next year, and then it
yeah.
goes away.
And I'm wondering too if it's a situation where, you know, back home, and you may have some down here too, they got them red light cameras. So if you run a red light or you don't stop before you turn, they flash that light and take a picture, and you get a $25, $50 fine, whatever it is. You know, those are illegal.
So the difference is that's the government.
Yes.
We parked on a private lot.
Okay. Well, but what I was getting at is with the government cameras, those are technically, you're paying that fine voluntarily. They can't turn it over. There's no points on your license. It can't affect your insurance. nothing like that. And that is in bold letters on the thing, the ticket they send you, because whoever that guy was in Tennessee government, congressman, senator, whatever he was, he's the only politician in Tennessee that's ever done anything worth a damn. He had passed that law or bill a few years ago where they have to put that on the ticket that they send you, that this can't affect your driving record, driver's license, insurance, etc., etc. I bet you there's probably, that probably covers these private lots too, but maybe they don't have to say that on the sheet, possibly, because it's the same concept in a sense.
I mean, since it is a private ticket, it definitely can't affect any driving.
Right.
It's just a contract dispute.
Well, but how is it though? Let me ask you this, Daniel. How is it? Like, they scanned our license plates going in and out of this place, which is how they were able to get our address to send us the ticket. How is that legal if they're not a government thing? Like, could I get your license plate number and call up the cops and be able to get all your information?
I think with certain stuff you can. I think that's a dicey area. Like, I don't think you can just take a license plate and go into the courthouse. I'm not sure. Maybe you can. Maybe it is.
It doesn't seem like it should be. I mean, this day and time, you know, if we see a hot girl driving down the street and you're like, oh, I want to find out where she lives, let me just take a picture of her license plate. Like, that don't seem like that should be something legal.
So maybe they're having to pay for some access, and maybe you have to be a certain kind of entity, debt collection or something like that, to be able to get access to that.
Well, I got a big problem with them having access to that. That don't seem like it's right. Either way, I ain't paying that damn fine, and I dare them to take me to court over it. I mean, just for the life experience of it, just to be able to be like Judge Judy, plaintiff. I guess I'd be a defendant. What would I be, a plaintiff or a defendant? Defendant. I mean, I'd probably get me a briefcase. I don't know what I'd put in a briefcase, but I'd probably get one just so I could walk into court looking professional and stuff. I'd have to get me a sport jacket and everything. Do you own a sport jacket?
I just had to buy a suit for my grandma's funeral this last weekend.
Well, I'll be damned.
I've owned it a long time.
Did everybody wear a suit to the funeral? I don't go to funerals, so I don't.
Most people did. Her family is pretty proper.
I mean, I've been to a few funerals, but I think I just wore, like, I ain't been to one in years, just black slacks. I think the days of being formal is about over, don't you think? In 2024?
Sure headed that way.
I mean, I'm seeing, like, on my Facebook and stuff, and people get married, I'm seeing people get married in blue jeans.
Yeah.
Like, that was never a thing 10, 15 years ago. Like, it was all formal and everything. But now, I remember when I was a kid working at Kmart. Well, I was 16. But, like, we had to have khaki pants. We had to have a white collared shirt. Had to be tucked in. And now, I mean, obviously Kmart's out of business, but you go to Walmart and hell, the staff's walking around there in damn pajama pants and blue jeans. There, you got a fish on. I'll be damned. It's going to happen. Look at that. Now you let it go. Is he back on it again, or is that just you moving? That fish must have swam right by me to get to your bait.
There's something like
I'm about to switch my baits out, I think.
30 feet up.
How long we been at this? Oh boy, there we go. There we go. That fish realized he was over there at you, Daniel, and realized he had made a mistake. Come back to me. It's on the carp. He's gonna pull some too now. I was just thinking, it's been a long time. Time to switch out baits. Probably past time to switch out baits. I was trying to be conservative because we ain't got much. I don't know who the hell drives this far. It ain't got much bait, but here we are. Still down here 61 feet. I'm seeing some more there on the graph too there. Maybe you'll actually catch one in a minute, Daniel, when you get down here to them. He feels pretty good. But this fish right here, he's never had him a parking ticket before. $85 damn, man. Highway robbery. Just excessive. I got a problem with people trying to be excessive, take advantage of people. Especially when you send a letter just instantly threatening them with collections and whatnot. That's just... Some people might fall for that, not this guy. I'm not going to be bullied. This fish here is going to be bullied, though. Where is he? This fish, oh, that's why he felt. I've got this in foul hook, Daniel. He's got the stinger in the fin. That's why he felt a little bigger. This one don't even count, folks. This one here, you had me excited, fish. I thought you were better than you are. You just get a look at him here. He's about to get that hook there. He's about to go bye-bye. Without bringing him in. I may have to bring him in and get that hook out. There we go. Thought we had it. Hell, I'm gonna have to bring this dang thing in. I can't get that hook out. I normally don't like rewarding bad behavior, but this catfish hide is so dang tough. There we go. You know how they are, man. You can't hardly get them things. You can't hardly get them things unhooked when they get foul hooked like that. Well, let's sneak back over here. The wind's kind of pushing us this way while we were dealing with him. We're gonna rebait everything, y'all. That fish there knocked the bait off the hook, but we're gonna rebait. You know what I got half a mind to do, Daniel? Go on down to this hole and sit there, because this ain't working out. I mean, got that one good one there before you rolled up. I mean, your bad luck's what it is. I kind of want to work my way on down. Get down there a little quicker and just sit there maybe. I don't know, maybe I'll stay on this path another minute. So you got secret spots, Mark, you ain't telling a boy about? Well, friends like you. Let's get us some carp here. Like I said, we got these fillets. Best I could fillet them anyway. I've about butchered these things, but you can see this meat though. I mean, this carp meat, it's real red. It's got some blood in it. We'll cut 2 big pieces here. Cut that, we'll get them down and we'll switch out a white bass. Or if it'd be easier going on the scale side first, think. Maybe I can get up under them. I think it's difficult either damn way you do it. This stuff, I mean, this stuff is just, there we go. There goes this one rebaited. Down it goes. Yeah, we got... I mean, these carp fillets, they at least make a... We can at least get several baits with them if we can just find something to eat them. Like I said, I've caught a lot of fish on carp. Smaller carp anyway, you know, where you're... Or I'm getting them in a cast net and they're a pound or so that you can cut and you can chunk them. Carp just get, best I can figure, they must grow very quickly. You know what I mean? Like they must, from egg to 3 to 5 pounds must be pretty quick growth period. I don't know that to be fact, but it seems like it because you never see many small carp where I live. Goodness gracious, this stuff. I mean, it's hard. It's as hard as it is to get the dang hook through. You should have seen me trying to cut this stuff yesterday. Definitely want to get them scales away from the hook right there, because that'll cost you a fish quicker than anything. All right, we'll get the carp down. We'll cut another white bass. Like I said, normally water temps in the 80s. I like to switch my baits out a little quicker anyway than normal. Just what's going on here? Okay, there it is. Boy, what is... I think my sinker got to the bottom way before my bait or something there. There we go. Now we got everything together. But, you know, when you short on bait, you just got to be conservative. And so we're being a little bit conservative today. And that's okay. We're gonna make it work. We done got one decent fish. We're gonna try to find something bigger. And I think, you know, with us not getting bit coming down through here really, at least not getting much action, I got a feeling there's gonna be some fish down in this hole once we get down there to it. Okay. Close our cooler. Let's do some fin snipping here. These scissors. Cut the fins off. Okay. Yeah, I think we get down here in this hole, we're just gonna spot lock a little while. Just sit there. Just sit there and see what happens. Got one up. Down it goes. Where it stops, nobody knows. Yeah, some of these houses down here in this area. Back home, it's all developed now. You know, these, everywhere you go up and down the river's $1 million house, man. It's ridiculous. But down here in Chattanooga, you see a lot of, like, I ain't saying nothing about these people's houses over here just in particular, but you see a lot of houses that are, what's the word I'm looking for? Not in the same demographic as what you see places back home, you know. But these people down here, man, I guarantee you could have a single wide trailer down here. If it's on the river, the land alone is, they're sitting on a gold mine down here with all the development and stuff. Everybody's moved to Tennessee and from all over, man. Michigan, California, all the northern states, they're all coming here. And they've been buying up property all over. And I look at some of these places down here and on Nickajack here in Chattanooga and stuff, and it's like, boy, how you imagine some of these people, you know, maybe they've got a single wide trailer, it's older, 80s model or something. Probably not. You know, the land's probably worth more than the house, even as far as like 10 years ago, before all the people moved here. And now, because of just the demand with all these Yankees moving down to Tennessee, that single wide trailer and just a small lot on the river is probably worth $1 million or something. Like, that's crazy. They would have probably never imagined, but that's reality now. Yeah, we're gonna, this area here, you're gonna want, is that a fish or am I snagged? I think it's a fish. It's a fish. Well, let's spot lock here a second. Here I was talking about how we're about to really drop off. This area here, from here to the hole, it's going to drop off super fast. But this fish said he couldn't wait for us to get down there. He'd just come up. You ever going to catch one, Daniel? You just going to watch me. I just rebaited. This is carp. Well, folks, just like that, we freshen up our baits, and here we are getting bit. Carp getting it done. Maybe. You know, last time we thought that too, and we had that fish snagged. We had him foul hooked. I guess he had hit the bait and rolled or something. Oh, look at this and pull now, buddy. He got a second wind. Okay. Well, he's fighting like a Dickens. I wonder if this ain't a flathead. I've not felt rolling. I mean, we've had the surges, but I've not really felt rolling yet. I wonder if it's not a flathead. Be a nice surprise. I mean, we got that one there earlier, just a tiny thing, but this fish here is going to be bigger, whatever it is, than that flathead we got. Unless it is one that's foul hooked and we've just been fooled or something. No, it's a blue and it's pretty good. Pretty good fish. I think he's going to be smaller than that real dark one we got there first thing. But fun sizer nonetheless. On the carp. We took them carp there yesterday, and by gosh, we're making the most of them today. Making lemonade out of lemons. Come here, blue cat. I'd use carp more if it just wasn't so much of a hassle to cut up. That's the only thing. And for the size of the fish, you just don't get that much bait. Come here, kitty. Oh, got this dang camera in the way. Y'all need to move out the way while I land these fish here. Come on in here. That's a butterball, man. Oh, whoa, whoa. He's actually bigger than what I thought he was when we got him up there. We'll give this a little front camera time, what do you say? There we go, he's throwing the bait off. I'll allow it. Okay, y'all. You want to take a picture of me and this fish, would you? If you ain't gonna help me land it, hell, at least take a picture of it. Okay. Butterball, man, that thing's been eating good. He's fat as all get out. Nice. Nice fish. All right. Well, you ready to go home, Blue Cat? I'm gonna cut another piece of carp, and we're gonna make our way down there to that hole. I know y'all hiding out down there. You and all your kinfolk down there. I know where they're at, buddy. We're gonna go get them. We'll release him on that side so maybe Daniel can see a fish today. You gonna catch any? Every time we do a video together, folks, he always tries to tell me, oh, Justin, you just editing out all my fish. Y'all seeing it live in action today, folks. Live in action. I'm whooping the far out of it. I done lost track how many fish I got. But however many it is, it's 5 or 6 times to his 1, by gosh. I ain't gonna let him forget about it either. Y'all don't let him forget about it. Y'all need to be down there letting him hear it. No mercy on this channel, by gosh. We whoop somebody fishing, we let them know about it. Well, let's grab us some more carp. Seems like the tail piece has this is the tail this way. Seems like it has a lot more blood in it. You know what I mean? Like it seems like it's a lot redder. Could this be too? Maybe this part's a little thicker. I don't know. Either way, that's the part we're going to put on right now. Let's sort this mess out. Got our fly all wrapped. Boy, what has he done with that? There we go. Fly's seen better days, ain't it? I need to switch that thing. Oh hell, I've really done it now. That fish ripped all my hair out my fly. Daniel, I need a refund on that fly. Look what that fish done to me. My gosh, Daniel. I know, I'm gonna turn that thing in, refund. Well, let's see if we can find an opening between these scales here. There we go. The size of them scales, man. Them things are huge. Okay. Watch this too. See that? I don't know if you can see down there in the water. But that fillet, when it's in the current, that fillet, it just kind of, it's doing that. And the flash off them scales is kind of giving it a little something extra there. I don't know if that really helps you or hurts you, but it's interesting to see how the different cuts of bait act in current, even minimal current like we've got out here right now. Okay. Well, onward we go. Let's come off spot lock and keep making our way along. Making our way in the world today takes everything you got. Y'all go ahead and sing the rest of it for me there. I'll be stuck in your head the rest of the day. You're welcome. It's very pathetic you can't catch a fish, Daniel. Can't catch bait, you can't catch a catfish. You couldn't catch herpes from a hooker today. Right here though, hopefully you can see on this, this right here is where we're really going to start to see how it really starts to fall off here. This hole's right down here. We get down there, I think we just going to spot lock a while, maybe give it 30 minutes, an hour, just sit there, because no more action than we have gotten up this ledge. I have to believe there's some fish down in that hole. I have to believe it. I've been wrong once or twice in my life. That's what the girlfriend will tell you. She'll tell you I'm wrong all the time. She don't know nothing, apparently. If she thinks I'm wrong, she must not know nothing. But I'm willing to risk being wrong today to tell you, I think there's some fish down here in this hole. Don't tell my girlfriend that I said that either, because I don't want to hear about it. Thankfully, she don't watch this crap. Me and her, we gotta go get our toes done at some point soon. My toenails are growing back. She's got me into going to them damn Asian spas there. I never would have thought I'd set foot in one of them places. And she's got me going to get my toes done. Them women, buddy, they don't do anything for themselves. They got people cutting their fingernails, cutting their toenails, trimming their eyebrows. They get their nether regions waxed off, you know, the hair down there and stuff. Like they don't. I asked the girlfriend the other night, I said, is there any like services, beauty shops or spas or whatever that shaves you women's legs? And she looked at me like I was about crazy. I was like, why would they offer something like that? I'm like, why the hell wouldn't they? Like, if a man goes to a barber shop, you can get a shave. I'm like, you women, again, you get your fingernails cut by somebody else, your toenails cut by somebody else. These people paint the nails for you. You know, my girlfriend, she gets her eyebrows done. She's got some girl that you know, waxes the nether regions and all. And yet it's crazy to think that there would be a beauty shop out there that shaves women's legs. Like, I mean, she looked at me like I was crazy to even suggest it. I'm like, that's the next $1 million business idea right there. Go in and, you know, and I don't know how often women shave their legs, but if it's as often as a man shaves their face, I mean, that seems like a repetitive business model. So, I mean, I don't think it's a crazy idea. I think, and seeing how these women like to be pampered and all, and like somebody doing everything for them, it seems like, I don't think the place would just not have any customers, you know what I mean? Like, I think somebody, and you could probably charge different fees, like, you could have like one fee if the leg needed to be shaved from the knee down. Then you'd have another fee for like the whole leg. If you had some toe hair that needed to be clipped, maybe that's an extra fee. Well, I mean, I'm just seeing dollar signs here. She thought I was crazy. But either way, I gotta go get my toenails done. I'll admit it. I mean, once you get past the trauma of them using that cheese grater on you, cutting your corns down, and using that ice pick, they take that ice pick and they go down in your nail beds there and dig the skin out. Like, it's pretty traumatic. Once you get past that, though, having somebody cut your nails, they give you a Coca-Cola while you're sitting there. Then they massage your legs and stuff and your feet. And I never liked my feet messed with, ever. I never liked it. But after they've used the cheese grater and stuff, and my feet are less ticklish, it's kind of enjoyable. I've turned into, I don't even know who the hell I am anymore, y'all. But by God, I'm somebody with a damn good idea about a leg shaving service. I'm gonna pitch that idea. Hey, Daniel's a businessman over here. I'm gonna pitch it to him in a minute. You think he'll think I'm crazy too? I bet he will. Daniel's never been to an Asian spa before. I told him him and his wife need to go together. It'd be a bonding experience. She would think the world of it. My girlfriend absolutely loves it. She brags to her friends and all. They're all jealous. Like it's a big deal for them. Hey Daniel, since the last time you and I talked, did you ever take your wife to an Asian spa and get your toes done?
Nope.
You still haven't?
No, I have not.
And did you say your wife goes to them places and gets her toes done? Or
Not on the regular. She's done that for like birthday parties and stuff like that.
but she don't do it like all the time. So she cuts her own toenails. I want to pitch you a business idea. You're a businessman.
Does it have to do with spas?
Yes, it does. So choose your words wisely. I was talking to the girlfriend the other night, and I asked because these women, they get their toenails done, their fingernails done. My girlfriend, she gets her eyebrows waxed, she gets the nether regions done. Like, you got all these hair removal options. And I was like, where do you go to like get your legs shaved at? She thought I was crazy. The place don't exist, Daniel. There's nowhere for women to go to get their legs shaved.
Yeah, but that's like a more frequent thing than getting your nails done.
Well, yeah.
That's like, where do you go to brush your teeth?
Okay, but a man can go to a barbershop and get a facial, to get shaved, like, you know, that's done pretty regularly too. You're not going to go to the barbershop every time, but if you're there getting a haircut and you need a trim, they just shave you. So what I'm saying is you have a nail place, and while you're there getting your toenails done, well, we'll just go ahead and shave your legs too. Extra fee. And you could have like from the knee down, the whole leg. If you need your toe hair clipped, all these extra fees, Daniel. Well, I don't know. I mean, I was blown away by the fact that women couldn't have this done when they have all their other hair removed, but not the leg hair. Would you back this idea? You're a businessman. Would you back this idea?
I would be curious of the research and the why. Like, surely they've thought of that. Hey, we're clipping your toes. Why don't we shave your legs?
You think it's been thought of before? But none of them do it.
Yeah, so why not?
So you think there's a reason why they don't do it?
Or just because nobody has. That could be it.
So my girlfriend says she shaves her legs before she goes and gets her toes done because of the embarrassment. But my thing is, like, if you could get past that stigma and be like, we're a one-stop shop.
Yeah.
Like, we're going to take you from the waist down, everything you need. You could make like a 2-hour package or something, however long it takes. You could get your vajacial, get your legs massaged and shaved, and then you get your toes done. Just work your way down. That's literally a thing. Have you heard of that before? The vajacial? It's a facial for your nether region if you're a woman. It's a true thing. It happens. That's legit. You've got no comment. You never know what we're going to talk about on these videos, folks. Look it up, though, Daniel. That's a real service at these spas.
I don't think I'm going to be looking that up.
You should totally look it up. You might want to, that might be a gift certificate option for your wife someday. Anniversary present, Valentine's, be like, honey, I got you a vajacial. A day at the spa. Tell her you got her a day at the spa, and she'll be thinking, well, great, you got me a massage and cucumber things on my eyes, like it's a spa day, and she opens it up and it's a vajacial package. That might not be the best anniversary present. I just think we're missing out on a business opportunity here to have a leg shaving service.
Why don't you just open up a shop right next to the spot? People stop in there and get their legs shaved so that they feel comfortable going in.
Go there first and then walk next door.
Yeah.
See, I think you just do it all in one business, though. Like I don't think you separate everything. Just a one-stop shop. You'd have beauty salons handling women from the waist up, and one of these places for the waist down. Then women would literally never have to do anything on their hygiene, nothing. Like they could just.
How do cosmetology license? Is cosmetology a different license or school than a barber?
You know, I think it is a different school. I dated a cosmetologist girl one time.
Maybe to handle a razor, you have to be a barber.
Well, I don't know about that because there's them women that do the waxing and stuff. Like I'm sure they probably have to do some trimming and all before they wax. It's like they got to be able to do a razor, I would assume. How often is it? Have you ever had your face shaved at a barber shop? I haven't either.
No, that's not true. I had my neck shaved one time.
How often does that kind of thing happen at a barber shop?
I mean, I don't know whether this is true. I don't know this from experience or from any particular person. I just had, in my mind, it seems like there's like the old business guys who would every morning like going to get their shape done, popping out with the other guys.
Yeah, that's how it was in the movies. They get a shave and then they get their shoes shined.
Yeah, so is that every day or once a week?
You know, I don't know the answer to that. I assume that it's probably like older people. I don't know that people our age and younger are getting a shave when they go to the barber shop. I don't think people our age go to barber shops anyway.
I think so. I don't think we go to the traditional barbershop, but I have seen trendy barbershops. You know, like the restaurants that like they usually call them socials. Maybe.
Oh, you got a fish on, Dan. I'll be damned he's going to catch one, folks. You lost him? Oh, he's still on. Just too small to count?
Just immediately rolled and rolled.
Well, good. I didn't want you catching a bigger one than me. We're down to 78 feet here. I'm lowering my baits down. Now, do you go to a barber shop?
I used to. I mean, I always have hated the idea of paying somebody to cut my hair.
You're that damn cheap, you cut your own hair.
Since I started like buzzing it, now I do it myself.
How do you get your neckline?
Every once in a while, I'll try to look in the mirror or I'll have my wife do it.
I go to Great Clips. They just buzz me down.
I liked, when I lived in Virginia, there was a barber there, and for a number of years in East Ridge, there's a barber that I go to. It was a good time.
Was a lot of people in there getting a shave when you was there?
The place in Virginia was set up, you know, it was like downtown, barber, spinny thing outside, chairs, old guys like wearing black. That was a pretty traditional barber shop, and there was always those people in there. That's kind of why I went in. I think young college kid thinking like, I'll go do what grown-ups do.
You think that signifies being grown up is going to a barber shop?
Yeah.
You sure were dumb as a kid.
But okay, so you know restaurants that are like they call them socials.
I've never heard a restaurant called a social. I've heard of an ice cream social.
So there's restaurants, or probably closer to like bars, that some of them have like bowling alley and darts and beanbag stuff and like just common areas where people hang out and talk. They're more like come here, like you're not going there for the food, you're going there just to hang and
Like a Dave and Buster's.
Yeah, but not like electronic games or whatever those are called. more like horseshoes and bowling and darts and
I've never seen a restaurant that had horseshoes.
social games like that. Usually have live music. So, the reason I said that was I've seen barber shops that are kind of like that. Like, it's a bar, you go in, there's like dartboard and somebody serving drinks and you get your haircut. It's more like making it more of a hangout event than just going and getting your haircut.
That sounds like the dumbest thing I've ever heard of. Who the hell wants to go hang out? I want to go get a haircut and get the hell gone.
Young people.
Young people aren't social though. They play video games.
Some of them are.
I've never met a social young person. Ever.
How young are you talking young?
Well, I mean, college age.
Okay, older than that. Like, out of college, less than 25, that range. The people who are like moving into these apartment buildings that have bars in them and a grocery store and a pool and you're like trying to make a whole community in the apartment.
You're telling me there's apartment buildings that have like pool halls and restaurants and all that in there?
Maybe not restaurants. There's one in Chattanooga. They have like beer on tap and wine that like anybody who lives there just goes and gets, and the pool and
It's all complimentary?
all bag. I think so.
All inclusive?
I mean, there's probably some limits. There's got to be big barbecue area, like giant picnic area. Very socially like engineered.
I bet you pay out the ass for a place like that. Hell, a one bedroom back home right now is about $1,500 a month. My hometown back home now is the second fastest growing county in Tennessee. And we're like 60 something in the country right now. Everybody's moving out there. I would have thought though Chattanooga would be pretty high up too.
That's been fast. I don't know how it ranks, but I know they've talked about it as a high destination spot, high what do they call those people? Transplants?
Transplants, yeah. It's where they come here and they don't go home. I'm sick of all of them.
Chattanooga keeps ending up on these like top 10 outdoor town lists. We were like #1 a couple years ago.
Well, there is a lot of stuff to do outdoors here.
They keep voting against us. Like, we all can just agree it's a great place, right?
Yeah, don't tell everybody. It's like this spot here. It used to be great. Now we've had it pounded because my dumb ass posted videos from here. Damn YouTubers.
Talked to a guy yesterday who was going to come out here. Sometime he's in town.
Oh yeah?
Looking at here to Raccoon Mountain or here up to downtown.
Well, by God, Raccoon Mountain, you're risking your life on that damn ramp. I should have sent you this video. Oh, maybe I told you about it. A guy, I don't know where the camera was at. I don't know if he had set it up on the dock or somebody was filming him, but he launched his kayak and he stepped over the tongue of his trailer and he slipped on some algae or something on the ramp and just face planted on it and then slid down the damn ramp. It was hysterical.
Was it you?
I wish I'd been filmed. That would have been the only saving grace to that day if I'd been filming. But that ramp over at Raccoon Mountain, bud, you're risking your life when you step out on that thing.
Bruises from slips over there.
I mean, it's just... You'd think that TVA would come in and just rough it up a little bit so that algae wouldn't grow. I can always tell when I get out, if it's a rough texture, the algae don't grow as good as it does on the slick textures.
It's also really protected. It has like that wing and then the dock. Like there's
no flow right there, yeah. It's just still water for that algae to grow. It was so traumatizing to me, I may never go back.
Where's these fish?
I don't know. I'm thinking when we get down here in this hole, I'm going to spot lock them.
They're supposed to be on fire right now.
Well, I know. I was worried that sun pop up over the canyon there. It might slow things down a notch. We get down here in this hole, though, I'm going to probably sit there the rest of the trip, maybe. It's getting hotter by the second now that sun's out. I mean, at this point, I wouldn't even mind if you caught fish just to get some content or something. I can't depend on you for nothing, Daniel. You don't bring no bait.
Don't bring jokes.
Don't bring no jokes. You don't bring no. You're the worst color commentary man in the history. Nobody can hear a damn thing you're saying because you're a low talker. And now I can't even get you to catch a fish. When you got home the other day when you and I had fished, and you'd went through them waves, do you have any water in your boat that you found? Oh, I am. Oh, he was nipping. Had a little nipply there. I guess he's gone now. So you said you did have some water in your boat?
Yeah, water in the battery box, and then the battery box is like raised up because I have cables that go like underneath it. I haven't notched it out yet. And there's a little bit of water, like maybe half a cup full in the hole.
Daniel and I had fished together the other day. It was a video you didn't see because we stunk it up, but
No, you stunk it up.
no, neither one of us got anything worth filming.
All Daniel's fish just gone.
Yep, exactly. He did catch more than me that day, so yes, that video got scrapped. But we had some big houseboats go by. He drove his kayak full speed into them to kind of see, because he ain't had that kayak long, and see if he could get some water over the bow and where it would run. And so I was asking if he had water in the hull. And he'd had a little bit in there. His motor weighs a lot more than mine because he's got 24 volt.
I think once I notch out like the cover so that it sits down, so then like that seal can actually seal everywhere else. The gasket's got gap underneath it right now because it's so raised up in the front where my cables are.
Yeah, I think that's part of the problem with mine too when I get water in, since I got them wires from the motor going through, so it don't sit right.
I haven't decided between, do I just notch it out so that I can like lift stuff out if I ever need to or want to, or do I run them through the inside, you know, and have stuff pop out.
Yeah.
But then if I ever want, there you go.
I got hit back here. Is he on there? Nope. They're toying with us. That's two now that's toying with us. Well, I mean, if you're not going to use that kayak without the motor, I mean, I guess you could just rig it up permanent, you know.
Yeah. It's more the cart and the light scope that I would potentially take out to go ice fishing. And I really don't want to have to rewire and wire through the
Yeah, that would be a pain. I'm thinking I'm going to take my live scope off soon and put it on like an ice fishing, you know, because they make them little bundle things where the screen and the wires all wrapped up, and it's portable.
Yeah.
And
I have the backpack.
Oh, do you?
Yeah. I did it when I was in transition between the kayaks. I had it all pulled out, so I put it in that to go ice fishing.
Yeah, I think I'm going to take mine off because I don't like that big screen if I'm not actively using. Like today, I don't need this damn live scope to do what we're doing. So it's just kind of in the way. And I just like to have it gone and then just use it when I'm going to use it.
Yeah.
Because I pretty much, you know, when I go fishing, I leave the house with a plan. I'm not just willy-nilly out there. So if I'm going to use the live scope, I know I'm going to use it.
You don't want to have everything with you in case?
No. I'm not one of those people. I don't like carrying a bunch of extra stuff.
I definitely am one of those people. I do some backpacking, you know, and they say when like the guys who get super aggressive with their backpack weights, the phrase they say is you pack your fears. You're afraid of being cold at night, you way overpack stuff you need to stay warm. Afraid of being hungry or being out of water or something, you carry way too much food, way too much water.
If I'm packing my fears, if I was a backpacker, I'd pack stuff to kill a bear. That'd be my fear. Wonder what's more likely, somebody getting attacked by a bear or attacked by a shark. Neither one of them happen as often as you think they would.
Gotta be sharks.
You think?
What time is it now? It's 8. My phone says 8:10.
Well, you know, we always go, mine says 9:10.
Okay.
So it's 9 Eastern.
So I have an hour. So I'd set my alarm for 2 different hours in case it hopped. I have one more.
I don't want to hear your alarm go off on this video. Nobody wants to hear that. Daniel, there are people sleeping right now while this video is playing. If your alarm goes off, it'll wake them up in the middle of the night.
And it's
You're going to kill my views.
It's just whatever the regular one is from the Samsung, so they're probably...
Well, nobody has a Samsung, so you're good. Everybody has iPhone, so you're the last holdout.
Hey, if they're asleep, then you ought to do stuff like, hey, Alexa, order 10 gallons of ice cream.
You think if I said that, hey Alexa, order a Kayak Catfish t-shirt, it would do it because it's playing on their TV or whatever?
I mean, I think they've gotten better with the voice match stuff, but that happened like when the Alexas first came out. Some girl had ordered like a dollhouse or something, and then there was a news story about it, and the news story says, oh yeah, this girl says, hey Alexa, order me a dollhouse, and a bunch of the viewers
That's the best idea ever, Daniel. Why didn't you tell me this sooner? I'm gonna do it right now. Hey Alexa, go to Amazon and buy a Kayak Catfish t-shirt. I just boosted my sales 1,000%.
tripled your returns.
Oh, that's funny stuff.
All right, we've looked at this before. On your chart, is there a big old hole over there? 2 of them?
No,
Like it goes up a ridge and then back down?
no. I got the big hole we're drifting into right now.
I'm pretty sure there's 2 holes over there in the middle of that ridge. Yeah, there's a slot.
I'm gonna focus on the big giant 100-foot hole that we're about to go into.
I really want to run that slot.
You just want to be off camera is what you want. I know what you're trying to do. Daniel hates being on camera. He's the worst co-host ever. I gotta get a better co-host that can catch a fish.
Man, I'm curious about that.
You're just acting that way because you want to go over there, and you know I'm not going to do it. I'm almost to the promised land here. We're down to 85 feet here.
Maybe this is the new promised land. Fish tucked in there. There's a ridge on one side. It basically is this same stretch, except way narrower.
No. I think you're going to get over there and it's fool's gold. Lower, but Daniel's over there just inventing stuff on the map that don't exist, folks. Don't pay no attention to him. He's lost his marbles. We're down to 86 feet. 10 minutes or less?
Unless I'm getting bit.
You ain't getting bit. These people, the handful of people still watching says they got a shiny nickel. Says you ain't gonna catch diddly doo-doo over there. And you're gonna do it in 10 minutes. You ain't catching nothing. Folks, take your bets right now. Call your bookie in Vegas. Put a nickel on it. Daniel ain't gonna get bit at all over there. He's gonna be trying to fish something that don't exist.
Well, I guess that's the thing. If I get over there and it doesn't exist, if this is fictitious.
Well, then we automatically win the bet. The bet is you ain't gonna catch nothing over there. If you choose not to drop a line, that's on you. The bet is the bet. Look at him. He's got that damn banana slicer in his cooler right there. Banana slicer, folks. Wards off bad luck. All right. You go do you, Daniel. Me and these people, we're going to sit over here where the fish are at. I'm due to catch another one. I can't believe it's been this slow this morning, but there he goes, folks. Y'all wave goodbye to him. He says 10 minutes. He'll be over there the rest of the trip. You watch and see. I know how he is. He hates being on camera. Absolutely hates it. Kills him. I've probably give him a complex about his low talking, but it don't make him talk any louder though. Y'all probably ain't been able to hear. I could barely hear a damn thing he's saying today. I guarantee you though, his wife, if they get in an argument, and his wife's a sweet girl, so she's probably not the arguing kind, but if they ever did, she would automatically win by default because he would never raise his voice. I don't think he's physically able to raise his voice. If he did try to yell, it would be like normal decimal level. You know who I bet really hates Daniel's guts? Is people at drive-through windows. I don't know if he goes through a drive-through very often, but if he does, I guarantee you they can't hear a thing he's saying. I've gotten to a point now, and I don't eat fast food a lot. Now, the last week or so, I've been on a Freddy's kick. Freddy's is they call it steak burgers. They're very thin. You don't get much food there, but it tastes good, and I like the fries. And so I'm not much on fast food anymore. It's all garbage. But for some reason, I was going through town and I was like, I'm gonna just pull in and get Freddy's burger, and it was good. And the next day I went back, and so now I've been on a little kick the last week. I'm bad about habits. Like I'm not really a foodie, so if something, like when we had our ice storm there back in January, we had that polar vortex come through. Now, granted, this is, hell, we're in July now, so what's that been? 7 months ago. Had that polar vortex come through. I had to cook for myself at the house. In that short period of time I was home, I got in the habit of cooking, so I've ate steak almost every day since the polar vortex. I mean, it's like that with me. I get something, I eat it, and I'll just eat it every single day. I'm repetitive like that. Where the hell's Daniel going? He's all the way back over here now. He don't know where the hell he's going. I told you that thing, he's seeing something on his map card that don't exist. He's lost his damn mind. He's going to come over here and eat some crow. Because I told him not to do it. It didn't exist. What we're going into here is a giant hole. It comes off sharp on each side, and there's a big circular depression here. It's going to be over 100 feet deep here when we get down to where we're going. He's looking for something that did not exist. You look stupid, don't you, Dan? You didn't exist. It wasn't there, was it?
It's a lie.
Your map card lied, didn't it?
I was wondering how I've never noticed that before. Like, man, that looks like a great thing to run. Why have I never run that before?
Yeah, it's a lie.
It doesn't exist.
I told you. I don't know why you don't believe me. I only lie to women. I wouldn't lie to you. I told you it wasn't there. Didn't make no damn sense.
Are you anchored?
No, I'm about to be though. I'm moving over to a waypoint I got marked, and then I'm gonna drop everything down. I'm gonna sit here till probably it's time to go. Well, you do that. At least tug on them before you cut them. Make me think I got a fish. When I get over here and get set up, Daniel, don't let me forget to tell you the hammerhead story. I watched an amazing video yesterday. Every time you think you've seen the dumbest things people can do, they just top themselves. It's a wonder this guy didn't get his arms bitten off. I'll have to send you the link to it.
So, how does CMAP get that data? It's crowdsourced data from everybody's charts?
Hell if I know. I never update my charts. If my graph works, I don't do no updates. I mean, it ain't going to get hacked, so I ain't worried about it. I don't think the river bottom here is going to change. This ain't like the Ohio River where it's constantly up and down all the time. And hell, if a river is up and down all the time, the map cards ain't gonna be worth a damn anyway.
They got waypoints saved around, you know, places in here that now it's thinking are in 40 feet of water when actually they're in like 90 feet.
Well, maybe your graph's just messed up.
But I also usually have pretty spotty GPS here, like navigation modes usually are a little bit whack. I'm wondering if that's crowdsourced data and they've gotten bad data from somebody's thing that's kind of bouncing around.
Well, if you was a real fisherman that's worth a damn, you wouldn't need no graph no way.
Yep.
People caught fish hundreds of years, never had no fish finder.
True.
All you supposed to need is that live scope. Just drop it, turn it in the water, and catch big fish.
Parking a couple fish there.
Well, I'm spot log. I had marked this place right here. Apparently I had drifted through it in the past and caught big fish, so I'm gonna just park it here, 105 feet deep, and I'm gonna sit here a spell. Drifting has not done much for us. I mean, yeah, we've got some fish, but I'm wondering if sitting still a while will be better for the cause. It can't hurt.
How do you ever get this carp off?
It's tough as nails, ain't it? Here's you a business idea, Daniel. I probably shouldn't say this on camera, but I'm gonna do it anyway. These other people gonna beat you to market. You need to come up with a way to cut up carp more efficiently.
Right here.
No, it ain't either. You can't. No, them scissors ain't gonna work. The thing's got bones, and I know. Listen, I know them things are supposed to cut through chicken bones, but I think bird bones ain't the same. Because them carp bones, man, they got 1,000,000 ribs, and they're hard as a rock. Hard as bone, literally. Yeah, them 2 carp yesterday, I bet you it took me at least 20 minutes to get them things filleted. And the bigger they get, the harder they are to cut.
I can remember one of my first times drifting. I was down at Sullivan's in my paddle kayak and probably using chicken for bait or some non-bait for bait. And all of a sudden all these dead carp started floating down the river, and all of these like stomach pouches and all kinds of guts. And somebody had been running down that or something higher up, and I saw him at the ramp cutting all those fish and then throwing all these carp out.
Oh.
All these carp floating down the river. I was like, this is great, free bait.
Yeah.
A couple, and at that point I had like a pair of pliers. I think that's probably the only tool I had, maybe clippers, and spent forever trying to rip this thing open enough to get some little piece of meat to use for bait. It was a lot of work.
Yeah.
Remember how frustrating that was. Here's all this bait, and I can't get it in. Can't get it open. So what's your hammerhead?
Oh yeah, there's a hammerhead. So yeah, I watched this video yesterday, and this guy's down in the Florida Keys. He's at the 7 Mile Bridge. I recognized it. And that's like my favorite place to go down there because there's just 1,000,000 fish. And he was fishing for something else, and this hammerhead ate the fish, right? So this dumbass, you got that hammerhead right there around his boat. It's a huge hammerhead. I mean, it's huge. This dumbass gets another fish, leans over the side of his boat holding this other fish to try to feed this damn hammerhead, and this hammerhead comes up and snatches this. It's a wonder it didn't get his arms and everything. Huge hammerhead. I mean, it's probably 14, 15 feet long. Massive thing. That's the kind of thing that I mean, you know me, I like me some shark fishing. But you're down there, man, them things, I mean, easily bigger than your kayak oftentimes. And one of them gets pissed off at you. One of them's coming after another fish and just hits your kayak. Like you're in trouble. You're in big trouble. What gets me is these people that go diving with them. like scuba diving, and they're swimming around, they're touching the sharks. I'm like, you've lost your damn mind. I want to put a hook in them, but I ain't getting down there and swimming with them.
Does not sound smart.
You know what sucks about you selling your other kayak is now you really can't go shark fishing. You don't want to take that. You definitely ain't going to take that motor down there.
Can you take this with the saltwater?
I wouldn't take that motor in the saltwater, no. If you took it off, you could take the kayak in the saltwater. But if you're going to run your wires all permanent and stuff, it wouldn't be smart. You'll corrode everything.
Take the new canoe.
You ain't going to take that damn new canoe in the ocean.
Because you want to paddle.
Well, you don't want to take a bow mount out there through the surf.
I mean, if I paddled.
You're not going to paddle that new canoe, Daniel. You know what, Dan? I want you to take the new canoe down there. I want to watch it. I want to film that show. Paddling that damn new canoe through the surf. Like, this is going to be you're going to be upside down and sideways. Yeah, your other kayak would have been perfect for it. Should have sold the new canoe and kept it.
How is it any different than taking this out there? Just because it's narrower?
Well, I mean, no, that kayak right there would be fine, but not with the motor.
I can put the pedals in this.
Yeah, but you've got if you're running your wiring permanent, that salt water is going to get in them connections and corrode everything. I mean, stuff corrodes fast down there in the salt. My pliers, after 2 or 3 days, even washing, I mean, I take a hose and wash everything off after every trip, but you're still, I mean, just stainless steel pliers, nothing but rust after 3 days. If you get some, down there where your motor plugs in, you get some salt water in that, like it's done. But no, I mean, that kayak right there, I mean, you put the pedals in, it'd be ideal. I'd been kicking around the idea again of that Hobie Lynx, just because the weight factor. And I've seen guys out in the ocean, and it seems to do well out there. But my fear is just the shark factor of you be reeling in a fish and a shark come up after the fish with that Hobie Lynx, because it sits so low on the water. Like, if it,
Shark in the boat real quick.
you'll have, yeah, it could easily just, not even trying to attack you or anything, just come up into the floor of your kayak chasing a fish. There's no sidewalls. I mean, I still remember that video of that guy, the bull shark, come after the fish that he was reeling in and nailed the side of his kayak, like in a Hobie Lynx. Like, in that situation, that shark's going all the way across you. But the fact it's so lightweight is very appealing.
It's plastic or it's
I think it's fiberglass wrapped foam. They're not very durable. That's one of the big complaints people have, is they're
But on the beach, that's less of an issue then.
right. Yeah, sand is not going to be a problem like us with concrete boat ramps and rocks and stuff. But you know, a lot of people are using the inflatables now, like when they're going down, you know, a lot of bass fishermen going down faster rivers, a lot of rocks and stuff. They're using inflatables.
It's so high.
Yeah, and they're more durable. I think the concept of these inflatable kayaks they're like pool noodle or pool toys, but they're a lot more durable nowadays. With you're not going to have to worry about a hook or a fish's fin popping them.
Yeah.
That may be the future technology of kayaks, is making a material that's inflatable but a little bit thicker on the outside or more durable on the outside, and to be able to cut weight down. Because I've talked about this some recently, and it's something I want, is a material for kayaks other than plastic, something lighter weight that's more durable. I don't care to pay more. Don't want it to be excessive, but you know, it's one thing in the kayak world that's not been changed in forever. You think it's right? You don't think there's any possible change?
No, I'm just saying maybe it's because it's right.
I think it's because it's profitable.
What about carbon?
Seems like there was a company making carbon.
Too brittle, cracks?
Well, it was the founder of Jackson Kayaks. When he got fired or quit or whatever. What's his name? Aaron Jackson? Alan Jackson. Alan Jackson's the singer. Eric Jackson? He's some kind of Jackson. He branched off and started a company, I think Alpha Kayaks maybe or something. Apex. It's Apex or Alpha, but I think his were carbon. They were like $10,000 a piece though. It's pretty ridiculous, and they were paddle. I looked at them. I never saw one in person, but I mean I watched some videos. And I wasn't too into the layout of it.
I mean, for bow mount stuff, there is some benefit. You need at least enough weight to counterbalance that giant weight on the front. If this thing was just like a foam block this big, that thing would tip up.
Well, you need counterbalance, but I mean, your battery is almost as much as the motor. And in our case, with the cooler, you keep that in the back. So I saw this. I don't think I sent you the link to it. You ever heard of that company, Island Hopper? They make them lousy, crappy motors that go down in the Hobie pedal drive slots. Well, they got one now. They're taking a Minn Kota with spot lock, and they've made a mount that fits down in the Hobie pedal drive slot. So it kind of looks like the Old Town Autopilot. They got no videos, no pictures, well, other than their HTML website. I'm like, that's a damn brilliant idea. $1,600 for the motor. But they got no marketing. And I automatically don't trust that the motor's going to be worth a damn. Like if you're on an HTML website and you don't have any decent pictures, you've got no videos showing the product, like how am I supposed to take you seriously in 2024?
Is it actually for sale yet? Or
yeah, you can order it on their HTML website. I don't know if you want to put your credit card on there from the looks of things, but I don't know how secure it is, but yeah. But it was, I'm surprised that Hobie's not done something similar to that on their own that they could, because that's an easy thing. You'd think for a company like that, have a motor that changes out with the pedals. I like the concept that Old Town had done with the motor in with the pedal drive, so everything's together, but I just think they kind of missed the mark on first generation.
Yeah, because if it's just the powering mechanism, whether it's pedals or whether it's a motor driving it, like everything from there on can be the same.
Yeah. Yeah. I just didn't like how the Old Town electric pedal drive felt, and the warranty significantly less. The regular standard pedal drive is 5 years. I think that other one, it's 1 or 2 years with the motor, so it's significantly less. Elias likes his. He's the only person I've heard say good things about it. I don't know anybody else personally that has one. But you don't get your spot lock and all that stuff. You ever gonna catch a fish, Daniel? My God, this is embarrassing. Every time me and you together, nobody catches anything. I drove over an hour and a half for this. I got up at 4:30 for this, Daniel. You need to be a better fishing guide today. You ain't even the least bit ashamed about it. You ain't embarrassed or nothing. He's sitting over text messages. I'm over here running my mouth at him. He's ignoring me. You got a fish on that. You had a fish hit that rod on the right. I saw it. You just too busy there playing on your phone to notice.
Getting these little taps all day and they're not hooking up, so.
Well.
Must be too tiny.
Well, I'm curious if we sat here a minute, if this drifting ain't worked, maybe sitting here will pay off. It either will or it won't. We better get to biting soon because it's getting hotter by the second. You know me, I don't do this heat. What are you pointing at?
It's standing up.
I know, I told you that rod got hit a minute ago. It is standing up.
He was there.
I watched that rod get hit. That's why I was saying he was too busy.
Pulled it way up and just munched on it way up high.
I'm too busy looking at OnlyFans on your phone or whatever. He's probably doing over a business plan and see if there's any of them Asian spas that shaves women's legs. That's going to be his next business venture. I can't believe you've crapped all over my business idea. Your wife's the only woman I know that don't get her toes done. Literally the only woman I know.
This is like every time your girlfriend needs her toes trimmed?
Every time. In fact, every woman I know all go to get their nails done. Fingers and toes. None of them cut their own.
Bizarre.
Now, is your girl or is your wife, is she from Tennessee or did you meet her in Colorado too?
She's from New York originally.
New York? You married a New Yorker? How long does she live in New York?
Until she went to college.
So damn near her whole life. You know, I used to like your wife until you told me that. She's another one of them damn Yankees. They move down here and they don't leave. She's exactly the problem we got with this state right now.
And since then, her parents have moved here, and another sister.
Oh my gosh, you've brought the whole family. You think it's a cultural thing? The people up north don't get their, maybe women in the south like to be pampered a little more?
I have no idea. I know nearly nothing about spas and the people who go there.
You know, you really don't know much about anything, do you, Daniel?
Definitely not if it's spa related.
Well, yeah, I'm gonna need you to get educated before we go into business together on this leg shaving place. You're going to finance it, of course.
That's all people want to see is you sitting for 4 hours getting your nails done.
You know what? If I went live from the Asian spa, I bet you somebody would tune in and interact with me there.
You'd have a whole different audience.
I would have a whole different audience for sure. Ryan Bortson posted a picture after one of our tournaments recently, and whoever took the picture was standing far enough away, like my feet with my flip-flops was on, was like in the picture. I'm like, somebody's gonna be zooming in on that, some perv out there, guaranteed. There's some bizarre people. There's some weirdos out there.
Sun's gonna make me fall asleep.
Shoot, I don't know how you can sleep in that heat.
Got a cool breeze. A nice warm sun.
I bet you if I'd slept in the heat one night, I'd have had my air conditioner fixed at half the price. Did that rod get thumped or did you mess with that?
No, it was good.
What bait is that up there?
I had. Just getting pecked by tiny little fish.
Well, I ain't even getting a peck, Daniel.
I see a handful of them on my chart. You know, the line's so thin that it's like a dotted line.
Yeah.
If it's gonna take one, you ought to take one of these smaller.
Maybe it'd take flyers. I just want to see somebody reel something in here, Daniel. I'm noticing a trend with you. We had that first time when I was trying out these unedited videos, me and you. I caught 2 fish, you caught 0. You were bad luck that day. Yeah. Awful viewing experience. Then the other day we fished together. You didn't let me catch enough. That was an awful trip. I scrapped. I'm seeing a pattern with you. I think you sabotaged in these videos. Did you put a banana in my cooler when I wasn't looking?
Not today.
Well, maybe you should have. Maybe that's the luck we're missing.
Might be it.
You know, when I fish with other people, we don't have this problem. We catch fish.
Yeah.
The common denominator is you. As people, I assume people's been catching fish more frequently down here now. We're getting late in the summer.
I would think so.
Because I assume they spawn sooner down here. When we had our tournament here on Memorial Day weekend, I'm pretty sure the fish were on the nest then. So they should be coming off now. They should have done been off.
Should be off.
But you'd think they'd be out here on these main channel ledges and the holes.
Should be off and starving.
Yeah. Well, I know the people's been getting them good numbers up at the dams, so maybe we're too far downriver. I think I'm gonna fish with Joe with Chat Cats here in a couple weeks. He'd message me and
Be fun.
wanting to fish with him. We'll see. Sometime him and I has tried to plan stuff in the past that rarely works out. One of us always has something come up. I guarantee you he'll put me on more fish than you've put me on today, though. He's a professional guide. I'm really surprised we ain't seeing more people out here today.
Yeah. I guess last weekend was the 4th. If people had took off and stuff, it might feel more.
Your back left rod there got hit. Another tapper.
Love that one to go down.
I seen a movie the other night called A Quiet Place. You seen previews for that or seen it or anything?
I don't think so.
It's awful. Don't go. Don't recommend it.
What's it about?
These monsters, aliens, something, take over Earth, that if you make a sound, they eat you.
Wasn't that what's the blindfold movie?
The Birdhouse,
Yeah.
or the Bird. It was on Netflix. I know what you're talking about. The Bird something or other.
Box?
Bird Box.
I don't know. Something.
Birdhouse. Bird Box. Bird something. This is very similar to that, yeah. But it was awful. It had a cat. The cat was the best star of the show. The cat never got eaten. I was going to be pissed if they'd killed off the cat in the movie, too. He ain't got it, Daniel. Don't even mess with it. You're just toying with yourself. Don't get your hopes up like that, Daniel. I don't want to see you get disappointed. If you ain't caught nothing by now, you ain't catching nothing today. There's still hope for me, but not for you.
You know, that one day where I caught that one fish, kind of like this, a couple smaller fish. Actually, I think even a good number of smaller fish early up there. Came down here and sat here until 1 or whatever it was, 1:15. Got that big one.
This where you got that big one at?
A little higher up.
Well, all right. How many times you think that fish has been caught since then?
I don't know. I hope 0.
Well, I'd assume he's still alive.
I'd like to catch it again in about a year.
Yeah. Might be a 100-pounder then. Where's your next trip planned at?
No plans.
No plans.
You mean like trip or like fishing?
Well, like vacation trip. I feel like you go somewhere all the time. Being a highfalutin rich businessman and all. You going to what?
Hiking on the Appalachian Trail next week.
Oh, that's not a vacation. That's work. What's the fascination with this Appalachian Trail?
I don't have a fascination with the trail itself the way that people are, you know, goo goo gaga over it.
The people that are into it are like you with marathons. Like they're really into it. Well, you ran that marathon. You were super into it. You trained for it and everything. You finished it.
I ran one and then have run 2 miles in my life since then.
Well, by God, you done it.
Oh,
That's a... What?
Did you see that rod?
No.
Your people saw that rod. You guys saw that rod.
They might have seen. I was looking away. I'm tired of looking at you.
They're probably tired of looking at me. I put that camera in your mouth so you can talk to them for a minute.
No, they definitely want to be looking at you not catching fish versus me not catching fish. This is real world fishing right here, by gosh, though. Started out with a bang and we're finishing with a whimper right now.
I'm not obsessed with the AT because of the AT. It could be pretty much any trail, I think. It is nice to be out there like in the middle of nowhere, or, you know, at least it feels like you're in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, but the people that are into it, they're like, I mean, they've got bumper stickers, they finished it and stuff.
I mean, that's a big accomplishment.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just,
Their life.
yeah. I think we're getting to a point in society where it's getting harder and harder for people, not necessarily to do that kind of thing, but just be away from technology that long. You know, how do you go that long without cell phone access, computer? Do you know how many fake accounts for Kayak Catfish there would be if I took a week off from the computer? I mean, it'd be littered with them. I looked this morning before I left to see if that guy had posted anything more. He hadn't posted anything more. I'll tell y'all a story, y'all. I called Daniel yesterday. This will be good. Some of y'all appreciate this. This is obviously the first video since yesterday's theatrics, so these people haven't heard anything. How far are we into this mess? Anybody still... Well, we're almost 3 hours. I can't believe it's been 3 hours already. Boy, we're struggling.
Time flies when you're not catching fish.
Normally it don't, but it has today. There you go. No.
Is that this one?
No, it's your front one.
Oh.
Well, anyway, folks, Daniel thinks I'm going to get sued potentially over this, but I'm going to blast this guy anyway. I ain't going to say his name. He stole from me, stole my content, which is common, but it's normally these Indians and Pakistanis and Chinese and stuff. I got a real life American that stole from me this time. And, you know, here in America, we got copyright laws, and this guy's taunting me too. He's like almost daring me to try to do something about it. So I filed the copyright claims and whatnot, but I was kind of waiting to see, is like, he going to continue to steal from me? Or is he just going to talk big and then let it go? But there could be some more to this story. If he steals from me again and continues to taunt me, I guess there'll be a lawyer involved, because I was easily able to figure out his name, his phone number, where he lives, email. Like, I got all his information just from basic internet sleuthing once I figured out he was a real person. So, you know, when people steal from you in Pakistan, you just file the copyright claims. You can't really do nothing about it. But here in America, by God, there's copyright laws for a reason. And if this guy keeps wanting to poke the bear a little bit, I may be getting me some tax write-offs via legal expenses. Very curious to see if he continues to steal my stuff and taunt me. He's clearly not the sharpest tool in the shed. I could tell that just scrolling through his Facebook. It'll be interesting to see. Another one of them life experiences potentially going to happen. Daniel, the kayak's turned. I can't. Did you do this purposely so that I can't film you not catching fish?
Now the current's finally going to turn our kayaks the way they're supposed to face.
Yeah, the wind is definitely, it's slacked off a lot. I was worried it was really going to be blowing here as the day went on, the way it started out.
Well, we tried your waypoint for for a bit. I'm gonna go try mine.
Well, I'm thinking about getting on the move again because we've been sitting here, what, 20, 30 minutes and ain't nothing happening?
Let's see how far away mine is.
Back upriver or down?
I think it's just right over here.
Oh, in this hole.
I have 3 rocks marked in this hole.
Well, I feel like, you know, in this hole, with the current going through, they're going to be able to find you no matter where you're at. There just may not be nothing here right now. Everything may be upriver. I had high hopes for this hole. I feel like I'm letting some of y'all, I don't care about letting Daniel down. I feel like I'm letting you down right now. I'm letting myself down having driven this far. I guess, like I said, I've just had such good experiences down here. It's hard not to get your hopes up, get your expectations up.
I didn't have to make the drive.
Yeah, you're just a few minutes from here. You're lucky, Daniel. I'm gonna have to drive home an hour and a half. It'll be longer than that with traffic. And think about the brilliant idea I had to come down here with piss poor bait and not much of it. Wasn't my brightest moment today. I gotta figure out where to get some skipjack at. That's gonna be what I gotta apply myself on right now. At least something that's willing to eat. I've seen plenty, but I can't get them to eat. I'm probably just gonna have to go to the dams in the afternoons. I hate fishing in the afternoons right now because there's so many people out. But the people I know that are getting them at the dams in the afternoon hours right at sunset. I think I'm gonna switch out baits again and then get on the move, y'all. Gotta talk y'all into that? Let's do that. We'll switch everything out. We'll start moving again. I thought sitting here might be the ticket, especially in this hole, but and if we were getting any kind of action here at all, I'd stick with it. But well, I'm not. Daniel's, I've seen him get tapped a couple times. We ain't even got tapped. Here's one thing I'm going to do. I'm going to take a smaller sliver. I've seen this down here. So I've got a video, I think it was 2 years ago. And it was a day we couldn't catch fish for nothing. We were down here. Land of the Giants. Couldn't catch nothing. Except on the fly. Now granted, we got flies on all our rigs today. But like we couldn't get anything on a larger piece of cut bait. So I'm going to try a smaller piece of cut bait on one of these rods. We'll do that little sliver right there. And then we'll put on a bigger piece, obviously on the other one. And then switch out our white bass. We're going to be careful. And probably what I'll do, we'll rebait. We'll go ahead and get out of this hole. It's a lot easier to just drop your baits down incrementally and slowly when you're going into a hole. But when you're coming out of one, you're just a snag waiting to happen. Goodness, I can't get that thing cut. Let me try to reach back here. There we go. Let's go deep down in the cooler. I think that might be our last. I think this might be our last white bass that's whole right here. Which is probably fine. I ain't gonna fish maybe another hour anyways. The way it's getting hotter so quick. Well, we started out so good. That was a nice fish we got there first thing. And just ain't followed it up with nothing. Okay. The end's cut off. Okay. Yeah, Daniel, your waypoint sucks over there. I'm gonna get on the move.
I got 7 minutes before I gotta hit the ramp.
7 minutes before you gotta head to the ramp. I guess we're saying goodbye now then. Because I'm about to go out of this hole and head, I'm just gonna keep heading down river. For a little bit longer anyway. I don't want my last fish to be my last fish, Daniel. Are we back? At least temporarily. Apparently, folks, we have found the limitations of this DJI Action 4. They claim it doesn't overheat. I have had it overheat before, and it says that it's shut off the screen, but still recording. Today, the whole damn thing shut down, and it said it shut down. Apparently, that thing I had around the camera for wind protection, maybe that done it. Just insulating the heat, whatever. I've took the battery out. I've let it cool off a second here, so we're about to get back out. I've got all my lines rebaited. We're going to take off. Daniel's got to go. He's got to go pick up the kid. The joys of parenthood right there. I can kind of relate because I got to get home and get a dog, let her out to pee at some point.
At least I'm not going to miss any fish.
Yeah, you're not going to miss any fish. Don't worry about that. You're definitely not missing out on any of that nonsense. Who wants to come to Chattanooga and catch fish anyway? But anyway, folks, we're about to get on the move. I'm going to pull us out of this hole. And we're going to keep making our way a little bit ways down river here.
Yeah, I hope you do get some.
Well, thanks for nothing today, Daniel. Thanks for nothing. You're a terrible friend and a terrible fishing guide. And I hope you feel bad about it all day.
Thanks for the bait.
Anytime. I'm a humanitarian. Don't tell everybody, Daniel. All right, folks, let's go down here. He's got to go pick up the kids, so let's get out of this hole. I had such high hopes for this hole. I had high hopes for that thing that we were putting around the camera too to help with the wind. If the wind blows now, you may hear it a little bit. I'm not going to bust out the microphone for, I'm on a fish 30, 45 more minutes, man. It's getting hot. I mean, as you know, me complaining about this damn camera overheating. If we'd had a GoPro out today, buddy, we'd have overheated by 8 o'clock. That's just how GoPro is. But I think the big thing with me overheating was having that foam enclosure around this camera. So may not be able to use that on hot days going forward. But either way, we done with it now. Hopefully we got a situation now where the camera will run the rest of the time and the wind's died down, so there shouldn't be too much wind noise on the camera. Anyway, we're gonna go try to catch fish, y'all. I don't want to end. I don't even remember the last fish at this point. It's been so long, so I want to get another one at least. So we'll get out of this hole and just start drifting our way down river and try to run into something. Our fish have been caught on the move today, albeit not very many. So I thought maybe sitting there, setting still would get it done. It did not. So back on the move we go. So we're coming out now. We're 93 feet. I want to come all the way to the top of this. It's just too hard to try to raise your baits up as you're drifting out of an area. It's going to be snag city. Somebody over there doing some farming or something. They got them a tractor. I guess they clearing out and making a bigger yard. Probably housing development coming in. Oh, they broke down. I see the tire right there. I'll tell you what, you're going to be a farmer, you got to be pretty resourceful, don't you? Because stuff breaks down, you on a big farm somewhere, you can't really go into town. You can't have a tow truck come get you. You got to be somebody that's mechanically inclined, got some wits about you to be able to fix that stuff. Yeah, I'm not really seeing much on the graph right there. My screen's real dirty and you probably can't see anything with the glare. And when I carp fish, I think me bringing the net over As I land fish, the net hits the screen and gets all dirty. I need to wash it. I'm going to be not getting rid of it, but I'm going to be taking that live scope off at some point soon. I just don't use it enough to justify having that much real estate taken up and all that extra weight up there. You know, I've talked about this kayak having weight problems as far as, you know, being front heavy and causing me to take on water in rough conditions. A big portion, well, the biggest portion is obviously the motor and then the battery. But that live scope between the unit, the black box, the battery that powers it, the 1,000,000 feet of wire that goes with it, it probably adds 15, 20 pounds up there too, truth be told. So I think taking that off will free up some. I'll be able to handle the chop a little better maybe. All right, we're gonna get started here again. Let's fix our depth on this so maybe we can see a little better. Okay, let's get stuff lowered back down. So I switched out all our baits. Everything's good and fresh on here now. I'm just gonna try to grind it out, man. I don't want the last fish to be the last fish, so we're gonna try to see what we can get down through here. I think our depth is going to continue to come up, so I'm going to raise these baits a little higher than what I normally would, just so we've got a little bit of a cushion in case we come up on the bottom kind of quick. With the wind having slacked off to pretty much nothing now. I ain't tell you how it goes in the summer. I ain't trying to be all negative Nancy or anything here, but like this morning when it was comfortable, the wind was blowing. That sun gets up over the top of the canyon and it's hot as blazes and getting hotter by the second, and now the wind ain't gonna blow at all. I mean, that's just how it goes. Them fillets, I figured out what this is. That's twice now it's happened. That fillet has fallen down at a much slower rate than my sinker. Takes a minute to get up to it there. Yeah, we got fresh white bass on. Fresh pieces of carp. One of them pieces of carp is kind of small. I'm going to try that. And then our white bass here. And I wish we had some skipjack today. I think that's probably the biggest thing that has negatively impacted us today is the lack of quality bait. And listen, I like white bass. I've caught a lot of big fish on white bass. I like carp. But there's no substitution for skipjack on the Tennessee River. Especially in the warm months. Now, the winter months, sure. Use some shad. Use some crappie. But in the warm months, man, if you get skipjack, like you're in good shape. Either way, I mean, and I don't want, listen, you know, every time I have a day like this, whether it's an edited video or whatever, there'll be people comment and they'll say, well, I wish I had a day like that, or that fish would be my personal best, or whatever. So I don't want to sound like I'm ungrateful or not appreciative of the fish I get. You know, because we've got a couple good-sized fish today. But really, for me, it's just the damn expectations. You know, my expectations were so high coming down here. I expect to catch a big fish every single time I'm here. And so when we have a day like today where we're kind of having to grind a little bit, struggling to get a bite, it's well, it's a little disappointing, folks. I don't like being disappointed. Nobody likes being disappointed. I'm going to get my speed going here. The current's barely moving. I wonder if they've
I don't know. I like for the current to have our scent in front of us, but at this point, with how few fish we've caught, I also kind of just want to cover some water right now. So I think I'm going to set our speed. I've got us going 0.4. I'm going to let that motor just drive for us, and me and you, we're going to go 0.4. We'll maybe be a little faster than the current right now, but that's okay. We'll try it. Maybe the extra speed will be what triggers us a bite, possibly. Assuming we get bit again. But you know what, folks? Again, these unedited videos here, this is real world fishing, man. This is real life stuff, man. It ain't like a highlight video, a highlight clip where it's one fish after another because, you know, either me or somebody else has edited down a day's worth of footage into a 15-minute video or something. What you're seeing is as it happens here. And sometimes it's be like this, man. It's just, you gotta try things and cover water and hope you get a little bit lucky. A little bit of luck never hurts anything. Wouldn't hurt my feelings to get a little bit lucky today. You know what would be the best part? If we caught a big fish, would be the satisfaction we would have sending that picture to Daniel later. After he didn't, what did he get? Two small fish he got? 2 small fish, so we beat him. Not that we're in a tournament or anything, but still, we want to beat him. And if we could catch a big fish right after he left, like, man, that would be so awesome. It wouldn't be as awesome as doing it in a tournament, but it would be awesome. I'll tell you, man, it was very satisfying up there at the Hoover tournament here recently. And Hoover was the exact opposite of today, where I come down here having high expectations. I went to Hoover having very low expectations because I had went up there before and pre-fished and didn't do any good. I had a lousy practice session. I only caught 4 small fish, and so I didn't have a lot of confidence going into that tournament. And the tournament started out okay. I was dragging and pulling balloon rigs, and I caught some fish on the balloon rigs, and I was in the lead at like 9 o'clock. But by 10, 11 o'clock, Ryan had passed me up, and then a couple other people passed me up, and so we're getting late in the day there, and I had fallen down to 4th place on that live leaderboard. And I'm like, man, this is, I just can't buy fish. And so I was like, I'm going to pull a George Costanza. That was my favorite episode of Seinfeld ever, was where George Costanza realized every decision he had ever made in his life had been wrong. So if he just did the opposite of what his natural instinct would be to do, it would have to be right. And so I had been dragging and trolling, and so I said, you know what, I'm going to set still and I'm going to anchor and cast baits out. And I did, and I'll be damned if I didn't catch my 2 biggest fish, the final one coming in the final 20 minutes of the tournament. And that put me not only big fish prize, but also got me the win. And so I stuck it to them guys, man. They were tore up about it. I know Ryan was tore up about it. He won't admit it. He was tore up about it. That's very satisfying to do that. It's always fun to win. More fun to win in dramatic fashion. It won't be as good today, with us not being in a tournament and not having the Hoover tournament. It's like $3,150, $55, I think it was, for everything, you know, for first place and big fish. So I mean, that was a nice payday. Won't get that today, obviously, not being in tournament, but still the satisfaction of sticking it to Daniel by catching a big fish right after he left, like there's value in that, folks. There may not be financial value, but by gosh, there's value in it for me. I love me some trash talking, you know. I ride people pretty hard, so anytime I can stick it to them a little more, I'm willing. But we're just going to troll down through here, man. We're going to go right down the river. And we're not going to go too far. I mean, I'm going to maybe do 30 more minutes, because it's hot, man. It's, like I said, it's supposed to be 97 today, so with the sun up over the canyon and not a cloud in the sky, like it's going to be, you can't hide from it out here. We're up to 50 feet now, so just going to keep bringing these baits up as we move along. It's amazing, you know, that hole about 110 feet deep at the deepest part of it, and then just very quickly you come up to now, here we are, 50 feet. I mean, it's pretty incredible. Part of that depth, of course, is just the fact that the river got higher when they built the dams and made the reservoirs. But even back before the reservoirs were built, or the dams were built, and this was just a free-flowing river, like that hole would have been double the depth of whatever the, you know, this water here that we're in now would have been. Which is pretty interesting. It would be neat. And it's hard to envision this in my mind. Like my brain, everybody's brains, I guess we all think a little bit differently. You know, you get somebody that's a artistic kind of person, they can visualize stuff. You get some interior designer or something. What a useless profession that is. But you get some interior designer, they can look at an empty room and envision where furniture and plants and tables and stuff should be put. I can't do that. Like you put me in an empty room, I see an empty room. Like I can't envision what it could look like. I'm more of an analytical thinker, I guess. More numbers-based guy. But it would be cool. And there may be a computer program or something that does this. Obviously with the contour map, we can look at the contour map and see how the depth changes occur, right? Like it's pretty easy to read a contour map. But even reading the contour map, like we're looking at a flat surface. Whether you got a computer chart here like on my graph, or you've got an actual paper contour map, you're looking at a flat surface and you're reading those contour lines. What would be cool, and there may, like I said, there may be something on this on the computer, but it would be cool if you could see, instead of a flat surface, like a 3D. Like if we could shrink the river down and hold this canyon up and be able to look at it like from this level, like how it undulates and whatnot, see it from a side view almost, if you will, like that would be cool. It would help somebody like me who can't visualize things very well. And I don't know how common that is. Is it a right brain, left brain type thing? I don't know. I think a lot of people think that we all think the same way, and I don't really think that's the case. I think all our brains maybe kind of work a little bit different with how we problem solve and imagine things, daydream, all of that. You watch and see. There'll be some damn neuroscientist here in this video comment box. Tell me what an idiot I am. One thing about the YouTube comment box is it don't matter what you're talking about. Somebody always knows more. Always. I can always count on somebody to educate me on how ignorant I'm being. I saw where YouTube's testing out a new thing. My channel wasn't selected for it, but they've been like beta testing certain channels, and it's a almost like a Facebook thing, if you will. It's YouTube's had the community tab forever, where if I want to share a picture or make a written post or do a poll or something like that, I can do that. And you can comment on it. But there's never been a way for you, the audience, to post pictures or videos or whatever you want so that I can see it. Like, sure, you can comment on a video or a post, but all you can do is written text. You can't do pictures, or YouTube allows you to post links, or technically you could post a link to your Facebook or Instagram where you had a picture, but I removed the option of sharing links on my comment box a long time ago because we were getting hit with the spammers. These people were, there's been multiple scams, some of them to like adult websites, and some of them just trying to trick people into thinking they want a prize and get money out of them type thing. So one of the ways to combat that was to eliminate links from the comment box. But anyway, they're testing out a thing with certain channels, and I'm sure it'll be widespread at some point because YouTube wants to basically be a one-stop shop for social media. But they're going to allow regular posts. Like, you won't have to comment on a video per se. You can just go, you could click on the Kayak Catfish homepage there on YouTube, whatever that page is called, and be able to make a post, picture, whatever, and that I would be able to see it. And honestly, I don't know how I feel about that. I know people, it's something that people in the audience have wanted for a long time. To be able to, because I mean, I've had a bunch of comments where people will say, "Hey Justin, I caught a big fish today. Wish I had a way to show you on here." And if it would just be used for that, that would be fine. But I guarantee you the spammers they're gonna find a way to use this to their advantage. And on a personal level, if I'm being 100% honest, I'm tired of social media. You know, me coming out here and chatting with you while I fish, not a big deal. I mean, I could do this 7 days a week. But just I don't even know what you call it in my mind, I guess. Just the hassle, the burden, the draw, if you will, the pull to be on social media all the time. You know, Facebook's bad about this. Like, you open up your phone and there'll be a notification on there. And you click on it and it's a stupid notification. It's some page you like made a new post, or some friend posted in some group, and you click to turn off that setting. But next time you open up your phone, well, there's another notification. You have to do them all individually. They just keep finding ways to have a notification pop up because they know if you see that, you're likely to click on it. And I'm one of those people that I don't like. And this is one of the ways me and my girlfriend complete opposites. She will have 357 unopened emails. If I opened up my email inbox right now, it would be empty, minus whatever messages we may have gotten while we were out here today. Like, I keep everything cleared off. I can't stand that. So for somebody like me that's kind of neurotic about things, when that notification thing pops up, that little red number there on top of the Facebook app, when it pops up, I feel compelled to click on it. And so I'm constantly annoyed with that kind of thing, and just the overall general just BS that's on Facebook and Instagram. I don't want YouTube turning into that. YouTube's been the one platform where I can do social media stuff but avoid the nonsense. And I feel like if we create basically a Facebook page for YouTube, then essentially you're going to have the same stupid stuff that you already get on the other social media sites that personally I think has put them out of business. I think their business is a complete facade right now. I think it's a complete Ponzi scheme. I think Facebook, and Elon talked about this a little bit when he bought Twitter, of how many bots there was, like how many fake accounts. I honestly wouldn't be surprised if it was the same way on Facebook. You know, you always hear, well, the politicians right now want to say that you got all these bots on Facebook, right? And these bots are real. Like, they're commenting on people's posts and in these groups, and they're trying to rile people up and get us fighting amongst ourselves. That's real. And we're told that it's foreign countries, adversaries, doing this, making these accounts. And maybe it is. Maybe it's 100% other countries doing this. But I'm more of a conspiracy theorist myself. And I'm the type of person, it's hard for me to enjoy a magic trick, because when you're showing me something in your left hand, I want to see what your right hand's doing. So I have a hard time appreciating the magic trick, because I'm trying to figure out how the magic trick is working. In this situation, you take a platform like Facebook, which I hate. Of all the social media platforms, I hate Facebook the most. Their whole business model is comprised of two things. They sell advertising space on their platform, and they sell user data. If you're going to sell advertisements on your platform, you need to be able to show that you are reaching a large number of people. The more people you can reach, the more money you can get out of advertisers. Therefore, wouldn't it be in Facebook's best interest to have a bunch of bot accounts? These accounts that look like real people, they comment, they engage. If Coca-Cola or McDonald's or pick your company purchases advertisements, all these people start commenting on it, whether they're real or not. It's engagement. They're hitting the like button. Coca-Cola is thinking they're getting what they want. They're reaching people, so they think. Wouldn't it be in Facebook's best interest to not only allow these fake accounts and bots that other countries make, but to, I don't know, maybe make some themselves? So I think it's possible. Obviously, Facebook, I mean, if you know your friends and whatnot, you know some of those accounts are real. But the younger generation today, these kids today coming up, most of them aren't getting on Facebook. Facebook is my age and older. It's millennials to boomers, man. It's not the younger kids today. I think Facebook is kind of a dying platform. I think their business is going under, but they're going to keep getting the advertising dollars because of these fake accounts. And you know what? As far as selling data, these bots, they're engaging, they're interacting. You can make that data say whatever you want. I mean, that's the thing about statistics is plug the right numbers in, you can make it say whatever. So I just think at this point in time, 2024, I wouldn't be shocked if there's more fake accounts on Facebook than there are real people. And I don't know that, these computer nerds like a Zuckerberg, they're obviously good at covering their tracks. It won't be a situation like Twitter where Elon Musk could go in and buy the company and figure out how many fake accounts there are, turn over all the company records and email records and all that to journalists. Like, that's not going to happen at Facebook or an Instagram or a TikTok or any YouTube or anywhere. Like, that's just not going to happen. So bottom line is, out of all this, is I just don't want YouTube turning into Facebook. Because Facebook was good for a while, and then it went to crap. And when it went to crap, like, it went down the drain in a hurry, man. Like, it really just, I just hate it. I'm on there because I have to be. With these spammers and fake accounts popping up, pretending to be me, stealing my content and whatnot, or just random people like that one guy I was talking to you and Daniel about there, that he's an actual American, like a real person, and just stole my content because it's getting views and he wants those views, so he downloads the video, posts it as his own, and if he gets enough views and enough followers, then Facebook will monetize his account and he'll earn ad revenue off of my content. But if it wasn't for those people, of me just having to kind of try to protect you, the audience, from getting scammed by fake accounts pretending to be me, and then just, me trying to protect myself from being stolen from, like, if it wasn't for that, I wouldn't even be on Facebook anymore. There was a while I deleted my business page on there for like 2 years. And it wasn't until I was just getting all these messages saying, Justin, I'm disappointed in you. I sent you this money and you didn't send me whatever it was that I had allegedly promised them. Like, what the hell are these people talking about? And it's like, oh, well, there's a fake account. You've been interacting with somebody who is pretending to be me, but they're not really me. And apparently somebody would message that page trying to interact with me. They would pretend to be me and say, like, so happy you watch my videos. I want to send you something. Send me some money for shipping, and I'm gonna send you this. And people would pay money for shipping costs, and then, well, surprise, they never got whatever it was they were promised. So I had to reinstate my business page, so hopefully people would find it instead of the scammers, and then I have to spend an embarrassing amount of time filling out copyright claim forms. I mean, I spend a lot of time. I spend a few hours a week doing copyright stuff. At this point, since I don't edit videos anymore, I spend more time trying to protect my content than I do the time it takes for me to, like, upload these videos and stuff. It's crazy. And I think as time goes on and these bots get more sophisticated, computer programs get more advanced and stuff, it's going to be easier for them to do it. Because right now, I mean, I fill out a copyright claim form, it takes days, sometimes weeks, for whether it's Facebook, TikTok, whoever, for them to get around to reviewing it. YouTube, man, you file a claim on YouTube, within an hour, that video's gone. Like, they hit them with a copyright strike, 3, and you're out. Facebook, man, you got to have 15, 20 videos removed off the page, and that page will still be up. Like, there's no, and they'll still be posting. It ain't even like they've been suspended, paused, nothing. Like, they're still, I've had copyright claim forms approved, and then they're posting again the next hour. Same videos that just got taken down. Like, there's no recourse, man. But I think it's because of Facebook. The platform like Facebook is just, it's a dying business. They know it's dying business, and they're trying to prop it up like a house of cards. And so when some scammer person gets on there, whether it's stolen content or not, it don't matter. It's somebody posting, and they need that. They need people posting on Facebook because there's just not enough people that's real that's actually doing it. So that's my conspiracy theory on Facebook and the fake people. And I don't really know how we got going on that, but man, you gotta just go with me on this stuff, folks. You know what I mean? Sometimes I go off on these tangents. If these fish would come along and help us out, we wouldn't have to be talking about this nonsense. We could talk about some fishing. I'm jonesing to catch a monster fish, man. It's been a while. I normally bust some big fish during the spawn. And listen, I've got some bigger fish during the spawn this year. I got some down there on Chickamauga. Like, I mean, that true trophy, what I consider trophy class fish. It's been a while. And I'm ready to get one. I like my carp fishing. I like my ultralight fishing. I'm ready for a big catfish, man. We gotta get us some skipjack. We just gotta. I'm gonna have to suck it up and go run down to the dam around sunset one evening and get us some bait. It won't be too much longer. The shad fry they will have grown to the size of lures I normally catch skipjack with, and then we'll be able to get them a little bit more easily in the usual places. But right now, it's just the size of bait thing that you got to match the hatch, and it's really hard to match a bait that's a half inch and see-through. I'll tell you what though, I'm not convinced we're going to catch another fish. I'm going to give it 10-15 more minutes, and me and you, we're getting the hell out of here, man. I think our morning bite window is closed at this point. And the morning bite wasn't that good. Maybe I should have ran on down to the hole first thing. I don't know. I don't know. I'll be second guessing myself for hour and a half plus on the way home. Probably closer to 2 hours, really, because of the traffic. There's never a good time to go through Chattanooga, anywhere on I-75, really. Once you get out of Chattanooga, it goes 2 lanes up 75, and you get some traffic, you get some construction, God forbid you get a wreck. It's just backs up. It's because all them Yankees moving down here. Like I was telling Daniel, and of course his wife's a Yankee. I think less of her now. I'm going to tell her about it when I see her again, too. I always liked his wife. I had no idea she was a Yankee. She don't sound like she's from New York. I guess she's been down here long enough. Her voice has changed. I do truly believe, though, that his wife is the only woman I know that doesn't go to a spa to have their nails done. Think of the amount of money Daniel saves just by his wife not going to get her nails done. Because them women, you know, when I go in there, I just want my nails cut. You know, I'm not getting no nail polish and they do some kind of gel coat thing. I don't know what it does, but it's way more expensive. I don't know. Every woman I know, every woman I've ever dated has got their nails done, fingers and toes. Maybe it's a cultural thing. I don't know if it's just a southern thing, if it's women all over. This will be interesting to hear some feedback. You know I don't have very many women in my audience, but all you men out there, you've got a woman in your life, girlfriend, wife, whatever. Be interesting to hear the feedback on that. And you know what else would be interesting? To see these women, your girlfriends and wives and stuff. It'd be interesting to know what they think about my leg shaving business idea. Would it be something that they would partake in? I don't even know what you would have to do for that. Like, would you have to have a license? I mean, I guess you'd hire beauticians and stuff. The same people that's, I think they got to have a license to cut your toenails. So you'd have to have some kind of license to be able to shave people's legs. And it seems like there'd have to be safety inspections and things of that sort. I would hope the health department would show up at least once a month or something. Some similar agency, I would hope, would come in there. And because my mom, you know, her and my dad go because they can't bend over and touch their toes no more. But she was telling me that one of them there in town, I forget the name of it, is over there by the Dunkin' Donuts place. But she had said that they cut somebody's toe and they got an infection. Now who knows? It could have been some old diabetic person that their toes is about to rot off anyway because they ain't got no blood flow down there. Who knows the story? But nevertheless, you would think that they would be some health inspector coming in and just making sure everything's on the up and up, that the equipment they're using is individually packaged, sterile, or whatever. I hope that's the case. But I don't know how that process would work. I don't know how a person would start that kind of business. I'm just shocked. I mean, I was just blown away that women they've got every other kind of hair and nail service, but yet they all shave their own legs. That's the one thing they do for themselves. If you could have seen the look on my girlfriend's face, though, I might as well have had doo-doo on my face or something. She was just shocked, like, why would we have somebody shave our legs? Well, I don't know, dear. Why the hell would you have somebody cut your fingernails? Why would you have somebody wax your eyebrows? Why would you go drop your drawers and have somebody wax your hoo-ha? You know what I mean? Like, really? It's just, you're just shocked that I would think somebody would be shaving your legs too? If you could see the look on her face, she was just like what a stupid idea. But yeah, let me go get something called a vajacial, which is literally a facial for their nether regions. That is a true, I'm not making that up, folks. Look it up. It's a true service they get. It's called a vajacial. I can only imagine what the YouTube subtitle thing is trying to do right now when I say vajacial. But they apparently, it's like a facial. They give that thing a steam bath and moisturizer and all that, and then they yank the hair out with wax on it. That's got to be excruciatingly painful. By God, they do it. It's a rough life being a woman. As a man, I pretty much just roll out of bed, brush my teeth, and I'm ready to start my day. I don't require any other modifications to me. That's literally my daily routine. I get up, I pee, I brush my teeth, and I'm out the door, man. I just throw a hat on and go. My girlfriend, she's got like a whole bedtime routine and a whole morning routine. Like, she's got a whole process of these washing her face and these creams she puts on and lip stuff and like all that before bed. And then when she gets up, she's got to repeat that process, but this time with makeup and stuff. All these beauty products and whatnot. I'm like, it's a time-consuming endeavor to be a woman. Like, it's just... If I was a woman, I'd have to be like one of them tomboy types. Like this woman I used to work with, she's a lesbian. Me and her was good friends. She used to stay with me because she lived in Kentucky and would drive down to Knoxville to work. And so she would stay at my house on the day she worked. But she just cut her hair down. She's like, I don't want to fool with having to fix my hair every day. So she just cut it down, like real short. And she said, I'm just not going to do that anymore. I'm not fooling with it. And I was like, I don't know why more women don't. I couldn't imagine having... You remember them women back in the 80s? Not only did they have a lot of hair, but they were using all that hairspray. They would make their hair look all puffy and stuff, real wide and tall and big and everything. I can't imagine how long it took back then. I can remember my great-grandma, she used to get that cheap hairspray at the dollar store, White Rain. Y'all remember that stuff? She'd spray that stuff on her hair and it'd damn near choke you. And women back then too, them old women, they'd go about once a month and get a permanent at the beauty shop. It'd make their hair real curly. And they'd come out of there, they'd get back from the beauty shop and their whole head would stink. It'd stink because it had all them chemicals in there that make your hair turn curly. I don't know if people get permanents anymore or not, but that used to be a thing. I'm glad to be a man. I wish I had more hair. I wouldn't mind combing my hair if I had enough to comb. I do miss that a little bit. But I sure don't. I sure don't. I wouldn't ever be even if I had hair, I wouldn't be the kind of guy I'd be putting mousse in it and all that. I wouldn't be doing that stuff. Of course, I don't know. I say that if I had like, had like John Stamos, you remember Uncle Jesse from Full House? If I had his kind of hair, maybe I would. It'd be interesting to know if men who put mousse in their hair get more women than men who don't. You think they do? I don't know. I wonder if women like a man with mousse in their hair. It seems like if a woman was going to rub her fingers through your hair and you had mousse in it, her hands would get all greasy and stuff. At least when a woman uses hairspray, it's like, it dries on there. It's not all. You're not gonna get your hands all greasy and everything. You're not gonna get it all over you. Seems like you'd have to, if you had mousse in your hair, like you'd have to wash it out of your hair before bed every night. Like what if you got home, what if you was out on a date and you got home really late? Maybe you brought the girl home, I don't know, maybe sparks were flying. And you go on to bed, well, you'd have to wash your sheets, I guess, because you'd have that mousse all over your pillowcase, and so the next time you got in bed, maybe your hair was clean, you'd be getting mousse in it again. It seems like it'd be a lot of trouble. Like me, I don't ever wash my sheets. I wash my sheets maybe once a month. I probably just disgusted a lot of people out there, but I dated a girl one time, and like she wanted to wash sheets like every other day. And I'm like, you in the wrong damn house, girl. Like this ain't gonna work out. So if you want to do it. I ain't going to. When my bedspread is fully covered in dog hair, like that's when I'm gonna do laundry. And the sheets, the bedspread, the same thing with my towel that I use when I get out of the shower. Like, it's going to get washed once a month too. It all goes in together, all one load. I don't think you're supposed to put that much into the washing machine, but I pack it in there. Why the hell are we talking about bed sheets and how often we wash them? It's that kind of day, folks. What time is it? I need to get out of here. That's what I need to do. We ain't gonna catch no more fish. You think we're gonna catch any more fish, y'all? We ain't even had a tap, a bite, nothing in ages. This has been something today, man. We got a few fish, at least. I mean, it wasn't like it was a skunk trip. What did we end up with? 4, 5 fish, maybe? I don't know. Small amount. We got a couple decent size. But it's been a grind out here. It's not been, that last time I fished down here for the tournament, I was down at Raccoon Mountain. I got 4 bites there. It was an 8-hour tournament. I got to fish maybe 4 or 5 hours of it, but I only had 4 fish. And, kind of like that today. The bites are very limited today. At least we got a couple decent quality, but I think I'm gonna wrap it up. It's miserable hot, and I don't have any confidence that we're gonna get any more fish. It's been a long time now. I'm not seeing nothing on the graph. We're not getting any taps. Even before Daniel left, like, he wasn't having nothing going on. So I just think it's that kind of day, but unfortunate. But I'll try to get us back on some better quality bait, try to get us some skipjack before we go out catfishing again, and hopefully that'll improve our cause. But I sure wish we could have got some more and some bigger fish today, man. I don't ever like going home disappointed. And it's not like I've had a bad day, but it's just expectations. You got to set the bar. Fishing and women, you need to keep your expectations low. That way you always going home happy. I'll piss off some women with that comment too, probably. Anyway, y'all, thanks for coming with me today. Hope you have enjoyed it, at least the limited action that we've had. And yeah, try to do better in the next one. I'll see you then.